Okay.
Now, I hate to be a buzzkill, but I need to remind everyone of the very serious rules we have here in the chat that you cannot say "oh whoa." No one in the chat is allowed to say "oh whoa, I hate to be such a buzzkill, but we must enforce these very serious rules." No. What is happening? Why are there so many oh-ohs and no? Disgusting. Man, I am so disappointed. Don't tell the other click, but I'm actually really proud. What was that?
Okay.
Silly chat, doing all their oh-ohs, not realizing the evil they are summoning upon this world. Hello chat, how are you doing? I hope you're proud of the evil you're summoning. Very proud of you. It's probably gay as well. I hope so. Welcome in, you beautiful beings. I haven't streamed in a little bit because I was down with a very annoying cold. But now, I am back, and I'm so happy to see you all. Welcome in. And today we're reading some really dramatic stories, but first we have some memberships. Isn't that juicy? Hi, thank you so much for 32 months. Rusty, thank you so much for 51 months. That's way too long. Ushi, thank you so much for 33 months. And thank you so much for 22 months. Lady, thank you so much for the 5. First time I get off at work with timing to watch one of these AmITheA streams. Hey, that is absolutely amazing. This is true democracy. The politicians could learn something. All right, so I was thinking, right, usually we have a little bit of like Lofi stuff going on in the background as we read these stories, right? I think it's pretty fitting. So the Lofi I had in mind for today goes something like this. And then, we just read stories like, Dear Reddit, I microwaved my mother's cat. Am I the butthole? So the cat pooed in my bed, and my mom refused to do anything about it. So I microwaved the cat and it blew up. But now the microwave is a giant poo explosion. and she accidentally microwaved the exploded poo cat. So now the microwave blew up in a mushroom cloud of shit, and now the entire apartment is brown. Am I the butthole? I was thinking about that sort of vibe. I think it's pretty good, you know. Welcome in, everyone. I do hope you enjoy your stay. How are you doing? Oh my god, absolutely. Not the cat? No, it's okay. It's okay. The story isn't real. It's one of the fake stories. Don't worry about it, chat. The people that blew up were the humans. Am I the only one who feel worse for, like, dogs and pets when they die in movies? You know, when humans die, and, you know, it's a superhero movie or something, and random people get gunned down or whatever, it's like, it's just people. And then there's, like, a puppy that dies, and it's like, what? Not the puppy. Not the pup. Weird, I can't click ahead in the video. I wonder why that is. In before I just start, like, pre-recording a bunch of streams, and then I, like, vaguely reply to chat messages so people think it's actually live. Oh, that's like the next life hack. I remember, wasn't there, like, this is a bit of the darker side, but I'm assuming that's sort of in the vibe of the stream anyway, because it's r/AmITheButthole, right? I do remember a couple years ago, there was a streamer who, like, murdered their partner, and they had a fake stream running at home so they could try to use it as an alibi for the cops. Like, no, I couldn't have murdered anyone. I was streaming. Look, here is even the VOD. But then they managed to figure out that the VOD was just pre-recorded. So they had, like, left their home to go murder, and then oh god, and then try to use it as a cover-up. I still have a little bit of a dry cough, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. So that was freaky. That's likely smart. I mean, they still got busted for it, so it didn't work. Luckily, karma is a thing. But yeah. Click, are you doing that right now? Okay, if I ever go on something like that, if I'm gonna go out and do crimes, right? You know, for example, I'm gonna, I don't know, illegally import a bunch of plushies, right? Something like that. That seems to be something I would do, right? What we have to do to make it look legitimate is that, like, I pre-record a stream, but then all of y'all also know exactly what I'm gonna be talking about. So I send the stream to all of you first and be like, okay, here is what the stream is like, right? So then you all can watch it ahead of time and know that, for example, I'm going to be talking about cat poo 30 minutes in. So then there can be a bunch of messages in chat like, hey, Click, what's your opinion about cat poo? And then I'll be like, oh, chat, I see you asking about cat poo. Cat poo is great. And then it looks like the stream is legit, right? Because the chat is along with it, and the chat is talking to the pre-recording that they already know is going to happen. So we're going to be a solid 1,000 people in on this, like, scheme. Isn't that what we're currently doing? Shh, they can't catch us all! And then you have a, like, VPN sponsor for it. So, like, to hide for today's conspiracy stream, download the freaking conspiracy VPN. The VPN that lets no one catch you in the act. Riz away with your thick ass and conspiracies. I feel like I need a lawyer for this. Nah, who needs lawyers when you got Reddit? I mean, for a plushie, sure. I know, right? That's the kind of crime I could get behind. Cat, thank you so much for the 10. I did a stream of Skyrim as Chad Thunder. What? Based off your nice guy? I'm a bit confused. Are nice guys and alpha males considered the same thing? Not really. No. Like, nice alpha males are more just, like, overly cocky to a comedic extent, and they often get into this kind of territory that I like to call essentially astrology for men. You know, it's like, oh, to be a real man, you have to do this and that, and you have to sleep with as many women as possible. But if you sleep with too many women, some will also claim that you absorb estrogen and become a beta. So it's a bit confusing. It's not like a solid school of science, if you will. But alpha male is just being like buff, strong, cocky, rich, have loud cars, that sort of stuff, right? Very stereotypical. Whereas a nice guy is a guy who thinks that they're nice, but they're not actually nice. You know, they're the kind of dude you would match with on Tinder, who's like, oh, unless you sleep with me on the first date, you're a sleut. Which is a little bit ironic, you know, considering what the word actually is supposed to mean, at least, I guess. So it doesn't really make sense. Or it's like, I am so nice, but because you didn't want to date me, I wish you the worst, and I hope your next boyfriend locks you in the basement. You know, that sort of stuff. That's a nice guy. That's a nice guy. Someone who pretends to be nice, but they flippity-floppity. An alpha male is just loud and obnoxious. A nice guy is more, well, I wouldn't call it sneaky because usually you can sniff it out pretty easily, but yeah. I actually recorded a nice guy video today. It's a nice guy Tinder edition. but an alpha male can also be a nice guy. Oh yeah, there's definitely like a crossover there, but like I wouldn't say it's the same thing. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful science. Class B hero, thank you so much for being a loss, you beautiful bean. You didn't reply in 5 seconds. How dare you? You gardening utensil. Oh my, you're not even good enough to dig the dirt in my backyard. What? Anyway, I am illegal in over 60 countries. Slay Queen, Yas, Acid Trails, thank you Tails, thank you so much for a membership, you beautiful bean. Oh, I was supposed to turn on some Lo-Fi, but I forgot because I was playing Doom music instead. Let's see. This is less intense for sure. Maybe I can turn this down a bit for myself and turn it up in the stream instead. This music reminds me of drizzly summer rain while sipping on a cup of something really fucking strong. Drowning of the dread that is the human condition and existential crisis. Oh yes, indeed. Become the lo-fi girl, Clicky. I'm gonna become the ASMR girl. I'm gonna just have lo-fi in the background and talk really ASMR. Wait, hold on, I can do this. Welcome to the lo-fi ASMR stream, where we talk very close to the microphone. Pulled up just a little bit too sensitive. Yes, indeed. Am I the butthole for planning a crime on my live and involving my fans? Am I the butthole for making all of my viewers complicit in my crimes? The answer is no. It's no. That voice, I am a homosexual. Welcome. Lo-fi gay ASMR stream. Oh, and then you just have like layered sounds, and half of them are like, what do you even call it, subliminal messages about gayness. So you think it's just like some background whispering where it's like ASMR-y sounds, but if you play it backwards, it just says like, become gay, gay frogs, the frogs are really gay, you know, shit like that. Oh, yes. Are you the butthole, if it's consensual? Probably not. Probably not. It's like, but you forced me to be a part of this crime, and then it's like, but you wanted to. You wanted to. God damn. Gaycation. Am I gonna make my entire chat complicit in gaycation? Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. You know this is happening, chat. You know this is... The next merch line is gonna be tickets for gaycation. Alright? Gaycation. Chemtrails? No, gay trails. Do you know that chemtrails make frogs gay? Now you know that. Now you know that. Hey, Click, what's your favorite way of having coffee? Ooh. Honestly, I have like, if I count the amount of coffee I have, I would say every second cup is just black coffee. Every second cup is just black coffee with a bit of foam milk poured on it. I mean, I do enjoy myself like a fancy latte or whatever, and I treat myself to that when I'm like out and about or like at a restaurant, but if I'm just making coffee myself, I don't mind so much. I don't mind so much. Am I the butthole for going on a gaycation with my husband? It depends. Was the husband kidnapped? Or gaycation-napped, if you will. No, still not the butthole. Gaycation is valid. Demon, thank you so much for the 5. To be fair, the Venn diagram of nice guys and alpha males is just a circle. I mean, I would disagree. I would disagree. Maybe like a half circle, right? Because there are a lot of alpha males that like take pride in being very public, obtuse buttholes, right? Like a lot of the alpha male culture is very much like being proud of being an asshole, you know? It's like, be loud, be obnoxious, be violent, treat women like shit, all that kind of stuff, and like really weird evolutionary psychology, which is mainly bullshit as well. And then you do it very confidently, you know? So I would say nah. I would say nah. Part of being an alpha male is more like, I can be a douchebag because being a douche means powerful, sort of. So it's more like a confusion between like competence and assholery, I would say, right? Like you can be strong and competent and all of those kind of things and traditionally very masculine without just being a butthole about it, you know? That's at least where, you know, it diverges from my own opinions about things. I do a lot of things in my life that I would consider very masculine, but it's how you express it towards others that make you like a douchebag or not. You know? Toxic masculinity, all that stuff. Good evening, you gorgeous smelling bean. Instead of lo-fi, you should be playing your own music. Aww. But I don't like having like lyrics in the background. That's the thing. Because then it confuses it with the voice. But thank you so much, Suki. I'll keep that in mind. Maybe I should do like instrumentals. Sweetly Dark Art, thank you so much for the 15. Hell yes. Alpha males don't pretend they're nice, nor do they think they are. They're upfront about hating women, looking down on them. Yeah, exactly, that's what I mean. Like, part of it is taking pride in being like... I don't know, it's that kind of thing where it's almost bully mentality, where you have to shit on someone to feel strong, you know? Whereas people that I have met that are truly strong and competent rarely feel the need to shit on others. Like, for example, when... my most recent example of people I have encountered this is like... friends I have made via like my gym hobby and powerlifting, right? Like I know people who are insanely fucking jacked and strong. Like, oh my god, I thought I was a strong boy. And then I go with these boys and I'm like, dear god, I am the smallest one in the group by a long shot. Like Jesus Christ, and I'm used to feeling like the biggest boy. It's insane. They don't act like that, you know? Like some of the boys bench press fucking 440 pounds. You know, they're monsters. And they're like super nice and down to earth and supportive. And if they see you come into the gym and you bench press fucking 10 pounds, they're gonna be like, fuck yeah, should I give you feedback on your form? You know, super nice, super nice. My point is that being strong or powerful or anything of that does not correlate with being a butthole about it. Doesn't make it more impressive. Does that make sense? And a lot of people that are buttholes are just overcompensating for something else. Not Nala, thank you so much to me, Alonso. Pride, thank you so much for the 25 plum. Hey, Click, can you do a guided meditation to go along with the lo-fi? I'm not very good at it. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Selena, thank you so much for being a last week beautiful bean. How much can strong boy Clicky lift? I did bench press 105 kilos today. I have bench pressed 110 kilos before, so I think my next goal is like 115, but I don't think I can do it quite yet. I don't think I'm quite there. 105 is pretty easy. 110 is like, then I'm getting to the limit. So maybe my actual max would be like 112 or something at the moment, but I don't think it's that much above 110 yet. 110 is insane. It feels really good when I'm at like a regular gym, so to say. But when I'm at like with the beefy boys, then I feel tiny. What is 110 kilos in freedom units? It's like 245, pretty sure. I did the translation recently, that's why I have it in the top of my head. I think it's 245 pounds. Can we see Simba? He's not here, sadly. But I did pet him recently. He was very good. I was like scratching the inside of his ears and he was going nuts about it. 245 pounds is crazy. I've gained weight as fuck, man. Oh my god, I bought like some shorts during the spring, like last spring, that fit really well. And I was like, man, that felt good. These shorts are good. And then I tried to put them on the day before yesterday. They don't fit that good anymore. Fuck. I think when I started lifting like I do now, like I was in decent shape before, but it was more like maintenance workout. When I started lifting like this, like stepping it up, I think I was wearing like weighing like what, like 75 kilos, something like that. And I weighed myself this morning and I weighed 89. In less than a year. Oh my god, if this keeps going with the same exponential curve, I'm gonna weigh 400 kilos in 5 years, you know? Keeping up with that. Hell yeah. Is it muscle weight? Mostly, yeah. A little bit of it is bulk, but most of it is newbie gains. I can tell by appetite as well. I eat like a damn horse. It's nuts. My 7-year-old daughter keeps stealing my ESDs and mangoes and started drawing pictures of them. I don't think I'm getting them back. The solution is buying more of them. Link in description. No, that's super wholesome. I actually gave away an emotional support team. And today, I had a couple of friends visiting with their like 4-year-old, and I gave them a bunch of plushies. That was wholesome and sweet. Do you get stretch mark with such weight gains? No, not so far at least. But I think it's very spread out. I don't think it's like weight gains, you know, when I've seen people I know get stretch marks, is usually like, you know, when people get pregnant or like weight gain in specific areas. I think when you work out, like whole body stuff is just very spread out, you know? New conspiracy, the click is actually an upper being that is truly just a gay frog that created gaycation. Am I right about this? No comment. I plead the fifth. How much to model those shorts on live? Sweating emoji, mind-blowing emoji, drooling emoji, drooling emoji, drooling emoji, drooling emoji. Ooh, oh, am I really gonna start doing this? Am I really gonna start setting goals for the stream? You know, when you have like a little goal bar at the top, and it's like, if we reach $200 this stream, I'ma put on some hot pants. If we reach $300, then the hot pants come off. You know, damn, this is gonna be like my retirement fund. Hell yeah. You know, for us millennials, it's not like we have retirements we can count on anyway, so might as well like do borderline OnlyFans and then die when you're 40. That seems like a pretty good timeline. Hey, Click, I'm new and neurospicy. Might be wrong. Isn't the gaycation thing about a straight wanting to cheat on his wife with men on a cruise? Basically, yeah. It's like a very famous Reddit story meme where there's like a dude who has gone into this deep, like almost conspiratorial rabbit hole that convinced him like gaycation is this wonderful thing that everyone does, including straight men, and it's okay to do it even if you're married because what happens on gaycation doesn't count. It's absolutely insane, and it keeps going for like pages and pages and pages. It's amazing. Way off topic, but my daughter just found a giant moth with teeny tiny wings. That is so cute. We had a really fat bumblebee fly in today. I tried to feed it, and instead it got stuck and then flew away. So, half success. But a better success story about feeding creatures. Dai, thank you so much for upgrading to Noble Lasso. That's very sweet. Thank you. I have a crow that lives in a tree. It's actually a couple of crows. I think they're starting to nest for the spring. So it's 2 crows, and they live in a tree right outside where I live. So when I have lunch after I've been at the gym, I usually grab a salad, and then I sit in the sun, now when it's a bit warm outside. And they have learned that I will toss them some leftovers and bread and shit, right? So they come up to me now every day when I'm having lunch, and I'm fully intending to tame them and have them do crime for me, you know? So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, and they're really cute. I'm pretty sure it's a couple, and they're nesting in one of the trees. And it's really sweet, because I think the girl is nesting, so she used to come down more, but now she sits in the tree more. I think she's starting to nest or fix the nest. And then the dude, he's the one who flies down to grab the food, but he will hide pieces of the food, so she can fly down later when she's available to eat it. So like, he'll eat half the foods, I toss them, and the other half they will like, for example, find a little pile of leaves and like put it underneath the leaves and hide it. So like the wifey can come down later and munch it. They are so fucking smart. It's so wholesome. Can you please listen to our diabolical finish? What? Thank you so much for the 5. I don't really do promos on stream. Strawberry Tea, thank you so much for being a lasso, you beautiful bean. Charlotte, thank you so much for being a lasso. Clicky, will you be able to show us Simba? He's not here today, sadly, but I will when he's here. Ooh, I am gonna actually babysit Simba starting Thursday, I think. I think Thursday. So if I stream later in the week or on the weekend, you'll probably see Simba. Hi, Click, my kitties, and hello, meow. Thank you so much for the 5, and give them a little boop. Give them a little boop. Hell yes. Mass, thank you so much for the 2. So glad to see you. Thought you fell off flat earth. Nah, I just had a cold for a week. So you don't really notice it with the video schedule, because I usually have like 1 or 2 videos in backlog. So even when I get sick, I still have like almost a week of content, you know, until I run out. But with streams, you notice it because it's live. So if I'm sick for a week, there's no streams for a week, basically. Click seems like someone who would join Tumblr. I have made a couple of Tumblr videos. They're fun. Tumblr is like that weird mix, right? Where I mean, I haven't been on Tumblr that much myself. I mainly see what comes out of it. But one part of Tumblr is like super up my alley with this like really, how should I put this? Really like alternative, dry, sarcastic humor with a lot of gay shit and that kind of stuff, right? Very fun. The other part of it is absolutely unhinged, right? It's like unhinged and weird rabbit holes and like, I don't know, teenagers making up wild shit. It's like conspiracy subreddits, but for 14-year-olds, right? So those are like the two rabbit holes you have on Tumblr. Not on stream, but please look at it. I think you would like. Oh, thank you. I'll check it out. Low stuff, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. It's way too generous. Thank you so much. Will there be bunny ears if you stream on Easter? Ooh, that's a good idea. Maybe there will be. Maybe there will be. That would be nice. I need some bunny ears and like a full-on bunny outfit. Hell yeah. r/I'm 14 and this is a conspiracy. Unironically, click reverse bunny suit. How does that work? I'm just like thinking about, and okay, yeah, that's gonna be intriguing for sure. That's what block lists are for. Oh dear God, a click must wear a skimpy bunny suit. Anyway, how about that AmITheA butthole subreddit, huh? That looks very enticing. Dear God, Chad, you need to drink some water. The thirst is unreal today. Fuck me. You promised a maid outfit. We didn't forget. I haven't forgotten either. There's a reason I'm like putting on gains. I want to do my proper fucking Viking photo shoot. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Emotional support demon Plushie Easter edition. It's a bit too late for that. Like planning a plushie takes like 6 months. Easter is in like what? 6 days. It's nah. Sadly, nah. But we do have a bunch of exciting campaigns coming towards the summer. Like a bunch of mango variants, and we also have the gaycation emotional support demon. There it is. I saw it right now. Hold on. Check this out. Oh yeah, baby. Gaycation ESD. Oh yes, indeed. Who's gonna... Oh wait, what? There is a gaycation ESD? Who wants a gaycation ESD? Yeah? Yeah, who wants the gaycation demon? It's all about gaycation. Oh, I see a lot of me's in the chat. That is promising. That is promising. Look at this. Look at me defeating capitalism. With plushies. Or maybe engaging in it. Fuck. Anyway. It's the child of ESD and mango. Yeah, basically, right? It's like if ESD had summer mango colors. I love it. It's beautiful, isn't it? When will it sale? I need to buy it now, yes. Ooh. Well, it doesn't have a solid date yet, but probably towards the summer. I mean, the demo is done and stuff, so maybe like in, I don't know, end of May, start of June, something like that. Like summer vibes. It's very capitalism, not gonna lie. But it's capitalism that is like non-exploitative. I think that's the point. Selling shit to people that want shit isn't bad. Selling shit, for example, that people need to survive, and then you jack up the price. I mean, maybe you need plushies to survive. That's beside the point. But then becomes bad, for example. Or when it's like, stuff like that, you know? Capitalism for the gays. That's just rainbow capitalism. It's like when companies are like, ooh, yeah, we always supported this. Look at all these colors. And then when it becomes a little bit out of fashion with like a current political candidate or something, it's like, oh, no, we never did this. And then, you know, it's a bit more positive in a couple of years. And, ooh, look at all this color stuff. Woo. Man, isn't that just Pride Month? Yeah, basically. Capitalism gaslighting. I will bring him to many gaycations. Speaking of gaycation. Ooh, this subreddit smells good, baby. Oh, this is the window. Hey, look at that. This looks good. Clickpitalism. That sounds like it could be something else. I got seen twice. My life has meaning. 3 times. Yes. Alright. here we go. So, I have a couple of stories. I haven't read any of them. I always savor it. I just look up a couple of stories ahead of time that look interesting. So, in the sorting here, I'd know I place V rising. Goddamn algorithms. Anyway, so there are a couple of not the a-holes here. And then there's like not enough info, which is a tag I like. And then there's like, there are some good old butthole ones here. Like in the top, right? So there's a good healthy mix here, just by sorting it regularly, which is great. And after that, we can get into the controversial ones, which is always, you know, an absolute disaster. So this is gonna be great. The first one sounds like a very like not the butthole, you know? Am I the butt? Told mom she can bill me using the tuition money she stole from me. Sounds like a good crossover to r/insane parents, you know? Pretty valid. Let me turn down the music slightly. There we go. I just want it to be like nice in the background. I'm excited to vote again. This is real democracy. This is what truly matters. When I am 20... I misread the first year. This is starting off great. When I, M33, was preparing to go to uni, my mom confessed that there was no tuition money for me. Though the years my dad would give her cash to deposit, but she only did the first one. She spent the rest. To be honest, I wasn't even surprised. I was used to being disappointed by her. Ooh, this sentence goes kind of hard. This sentence goes kind of hard. It's like, I can see this in front of me. I would say I'm surprised, but I'm used to being disappointed by you. That sounds like it could be like a chorus in a diss track. She promised that she would pay me back and asked that I never tell my dad. So for 4 years, I thanked them for the tuition money while I took out loans. Bruh, I would so have told the dad. I'd be like, hey, send them to me on my personal account. Or like, I'm a bit surprised they didn't tell the dad. I would totally have done that. That's a bit, isn't that illegal? Yeah, it sounds illegal, yeah. Please say hi while I'm sick. Hello, Abigail. I hope you feel better soon. I was sick too last week. Seems like a lot of people are getting sick. For reasons to do with her narcissism, I have an arm's length relationship with her. But she would say we're pretty close as she assumes my smiling and nodding while she drones on about the same stories is a relationship. We have a family cottage that she puts above everything else. She lives there about 90 days of the year. I've been going there with my GF for about 4 days for a couple of summers, which she begrudges as it takes away from her time. My dad supports my going, which is how I pull it off. I'm just surprised it wasn't communicated to the dad that the money is stolen. I would totally have done that. The mom sounds like a butthole. Or maybe there's something more to the story. She recently told me that it was time for me to start paying for some of the maintenance on the cottage since I use it. She actually suggested $1,000, which is wildly disproportionate. Is $1,000 like a one-time payment, or is it like a monthly thing she is expecting? I told her she could take it out of tuition, IOU, and we could negotiate the amount with dad. She was speechless. She texted me later to say that it is manipulative to bring out the tuition and to threaten to tell dad. It went on and on and on. I'm just surprised they haven't told dad already. Like, it's not... When... Okay, so they're M33 now, but this was preparing to go to uni. So I guess this tuition thing, the money happened when they were like 19-ish, like 19, 20, or 18 to 20, something like that, right? So, I'm surprised they didn't find out sooner. Anyway, I've been thinking about it at first. I'm hurt and offended that she can't just do a nice thing for me. She has to get something for it. Second, I guess I'm not really over the whole tuition thing. I mean, I wouldn't be either. This is insane. Would I be the butthole for bringing up ancient history and not paying her for the use of the cottage? To be fair, ancient history, if I put it this way, stealing money like this as like a bit of a hobby economist, you know, it makes it worse. You know, the earlier you steal the money, the worse it is, because you could have put it in literally anything, and it would have grown over that time. So, like, fuck, if you account for, like, inflation, and the growth it would have had if you'd have put it in a basic-ass savings thing, or return account, or an index, or whatever, it's like, bruh. Yeah, not the butthole. I'm surprised they didn't, like, scorn her earlier about this. Edited that. At the time, it never occurred to me that I should have told him. I thought I was doing the right thing by protecting both of them. That pretty much summarized my childhood. Okay, yeah, so they were sort of like, nasty mom, put in this situation where, as a child, you're trying to keep the waters calm, essentially, because you know it's gonna be a blow up and it's gonna be awful. I can sort of buy that. Yeah, that's well. Time for voting. Is OP the butt? Yes or no? It's Timmy. Timmy's always butt. Clicky, thank you for being the best you can be. Your videos help me through more than you can imagine. Oh, that's really sweet. That's really sweet. Oh, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much for the 50 run, you beautiful bean. Timmy is always the butt. Oh, Timmy, how could you? How could you let your mother take this money when you knew it was a bad thing? God damn it. Who is the 7%? I think it's people misclicking because yes is the option at the top, right? Or we have 7% of really bad parents in the chat. There's like, no, my child is a piece of shit. God, I forgot the child. Fuck. Anyway, we'll do that next time. Yeah, I'm confused as to why I agreed to keep this a secret from your dad. Yeah, I'm not the only one who picked up on that. But the edit sort of adds it. They were like a child who was just trying to keep the waters calm because I assumed they were used to things blowing up otherwise and they just were trying to keep things calm. But yeah, and with these kind of people, I mean, I understand because they're a literal kid and they're dependent on it and that kind of stuff, but with these kind of people, you can never really please them either. But that's like giving an answer with all the, you know, all the knowledge in your back pocket, so to say. So, yeah, doesn't really work like that in practice. Child is always, but God. Whoa, ads for big Tata Gacha games? YouTube ads never cease to impress. Like, it's so weird. The only things I get for ads on YouTube nowadays is either shitty mobile games or like crypto investment services. Bro, I'm into neither of these. What? Like, at least give me ads for like, I don't know, plushies or Pokemon or something. Like, bruh. Man, painful. I kind of want to read a butthole one. I want to read a butthole one now for like a bit of a... It's not a palate cleanser. It's more of a palate destroyer. But that's great. This also has a lot of comments, which means it's controversial, and that's funny. I get ads with werewolf fanfics. That sounds better than my ads, I'm gonna be honest. Thank you, the ads always suck. I'm always surprised I get demonetized. I mean, nowadays I don't get demonetized that often. YouTube has actually been easier on it for the past couple of years. But it's always funny to me when I have like some old video get demonetized and it's like, oh, it's because you said frick too much. Or I had one old video get age-gated because someone was like feeding birds and they pooed a bunch on a beach. And it's like, this gets age-gated. But the ads shown are like... Okay, anyway, yeah, great YouTube. Am I the butt if my boyfriend made me a meal and asked me how it was and I said, fine? Okay. The actual naughty ads are insane. I know, right? It's nuts. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. So my boyfriend made chicken breast with some white rice, a salad with garlic, and we had some pickles and beetroot on the side from jars. ESD squeaky toys. Oh, thank you so much for the 2 Tenshi. That is a good idea. And we sit down and he says, how is it? And I said, fine. There is nothing special. Everything tastes as it should. I mean, it's a basic meal. I mean, is it within expectation? You know? Even if your partner cooks a simple meal and it tastes like a nice home-cooked simple meal, you say it's good. Because that's what do you expect? It's not going to be a gold-plated lobster. It's fried chicken, alright? Bruh. And he got upset and said he added extra garlic in the lettuce and soy sauce on the breast. We both said we couldn't taste that. And I said I'm not used to making comments about food, like he is in my family. When we eat with his mother, everyone has to say something on the lines of, how delicious, this is so tasty, yum, at every meal. That's just gratefulness, I'm gonna be honest. And it's also like, within expectation. Unless something is seriously wrong, you should be grateful that someone actually put time and effort into making a meal for you, right? Like, I don't think I have ever said in my life that a meal isn't good, right? I think the only time that has happened is when something was burnt accidentally, right? But then it's pretty obvious that something is wrong and everyone is kind of like, oh, okay, let's fix it together, you know? It sounds like they're just being honest. I don't know. I don't know. It's like that brutal honesty sort of territory where it's like, I don't think it's like, nah. Please don't feed the ego. What ego? They're just cooking for people. You can still be honest and still be polite. I would just say like, oh, it's good. But also, I'm not particularly picky with food, I'm gonna be honest. Like, if I'm just having like a simple home-cooked meal, like, you know, toasted sandwiches in the oven, or whatever. It's basic, I'm not expecting it to be a gold-plated lobster, but if it's like a nice toast with some cheese on it, I'm gonna be like, oh, hell yeah, that's good. Thank you. Bruh. Neither are bad, it's how they were raised. I don't know, I personally at least, maybe it's subjective, I don't know, but if I spend time in the kitchen, even if it's a basic meal, and someone was like, meh, I wouldn't be super excited to cook again, I'm gonna be honest. I actually had that happen. It isn't someone I really know anymore, it was like extended family that then separated sort of thing, so it's not anything that's in my life anymore, but they were like weirdly teasy when you would cook, so I just stopped. OP did say it was good. I said fine, there is nothing special. I don't know, this is a weird way of saying it. If I said, oh, how's the food? And the person I cooked for said, fine, it's nothing special. That's weird. Tack för maten, det var god, hälften spydde, resten dog. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Not worth dying on that hill. Yeah, that's the thing. This isn't a hill worth dying on. It's like, of course it's nothing special. It's pickles and chicken. But it's like, oh, thank you, it was tasty. Did OP say the nothing special part out loud? Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they didn't even say, they said it's fine. They didn't say, oh, it's good. They said, fine, it's edible, nothing special. And I said, fine. And I said, fine, there's nothing special, everything tastes as it should. Yeah, but I think this is the full quote, if I understand it correctly. And that's... Oh, that's not how you get someone to cook for you again. And in my family, we probably find that behavior a bit fake. I mean, sure, but I think it's more about, like... This is more about just being grateful and, like, the effort that took into making the food. It doesn't mean that every meal is gonna be like a Michelin dish. It's just being grateful, you know, that someone else actually spent the time feeding you. So, meh. So, like, I think it's focusing on the wrong thing. It's like, it's not fakeness, it's just gratefulness that someone else spent the time in the kitchen. We just sit down and talk about other things, and if there's something new in the food that would have been normal, question to ask how it was. So we get really upset because I should have just said, it's great or it's good, instead of normal and not very enthusiastic. It's fine, everything tastes as it should. But this is the answer I would expect from a robot, man. It's like, this food has the appropriate sustenance. Just say like, oh yeah, it's good, thank you. Bruh. If it was the tone, it depends on the tone. Yeah, but like, this usually indicates like a meh tone. It's like, it's fine. And I was like, nah. And he proceeds to pick his plate up and left to eat in the office. I don't feel like partaking in a family tradition. I don't feel it's natural. Saying thank you for food? Bruh. I feel like I'm forced to say something I don't care about, nor do I believe in. It's chicken breast and white rice. I mean, am I the butthole for not making a bigger deal out of a simple meal? No, you don't have to make a big deal about it. I don't think anyone is asking you to make a big deal. It's just like, someone spent probably, like, even if it's a simple dish, this probably took like, you know, 35, 40 minutes in the kitchen to make anyway. You're just like, oh, that's tasty, thank you. Meh. I mean, am I the butthole for not making a bigger deal out of a simple meal? Is he overreacting, or should I just be fake and oblige and say, it's really tasty, every single freaking meal? Oh, wow, like, you're working, you know, breakfast isn't really a big thing, so like, maybe And then like every other day he cooks maybe, if like every second day you cook or you take out food or something. So you're gonna say, it's tasty, thank you for the food, 3 times a week maybe, tops. Bruh. People, I am neurodivergent and English is my second language, and even I know fine and good are very different. Yeah, fine is like, you know, what someone says when they're passive aggressive. It's like, how are you doing? Fine. That doesn't mean fine. I don't know. That is like, Let's see what the comments are saying. Okay, let me break this down differently. I'll be making some assumptions because there isn't a ton of context. Boyfriend go out of his way to make a nice dinner. Act excited about doing something nice. GF acts like not only is it not special, but it isn't very good. Boyfriend feels embarrassed and deflated. Acts hurt. GF thinks it's dumb to treat people nicely when they do something nice. Either this isn't a match that you understand each other at all, or you need to be nicer, or both. Yeah, it's like it sounds like she just wants to be brutally honest. Emphasis on the brutal, perhaps. But it isn't about that. It's about just being grateful when someone puts effort into it. He and his family used to words of affirmation to show love. You don't have to use flowery language, but he says that it's good, babe. Thanks for making dinner. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, no one is asking you to be like, oh my god, this is the best fucking chicken ever. I literally had a damn orgasm when I ate this jar of pickles. No. No one is asking that. This is all it takes. And then it's like, should I say this every time? It's like 3 times a week. He's gonna be cooking or something, assuming you're both working and shit. Like, bruh. Sounds like there might be bigger issues than food. Yeah, this sounds like just communication mismatch. Luna, thank you so much for being a last wee beautiful bean. Oh, you're the butthole. You, honey, how do I look? Fine. That's what you did, and you know it. Him, you look as you should. Oh. 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 That would. Oh. Ay, 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 ay. Ooh. Ooh. Madisub, thank you so much for being a last beautiful bean. Yeah. Let's do a little vote. Is OP the butt? Yes? No? Or it's still Timmy's fault? I think that's good democracy. No one is the butthole here. Like, it's not that crazy. It's not a life-ending thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not like someone went out of their way to, like, really hurt someone or, like, was vengeful or... Like, let's not be over-dramatic about it. But I would also not be excited to cook for someone if this is the response I got. Like, cooking is a decent chunk of time. Like, you have to plan for it, do the shopping, pay for the stuff. Then you have to spend, you know, this is a pretty simple meal, but, you know, it's probably 45 minutes in the kitchen to actually cook it and clean the stuff afterwards and stuff. Like, even if it's a simple meal, you still would expect like a, oh, that's tasty, thank you. I've heard that food tastes better if it's made with love. With love. So 48% think OP is the butthole, and the other 43% says it's still Timmy's fault. Valid. Y'all, what did Timmy do? What did Timmy not do? If OP refused to apologize, compromise, change some behavior in the future, that would put a big territory. Rosemary, thank you so much for being a noble lasso. I think it's that kind of thing where it's about showing gratitude. Like, no one is expecting the feed. It's like, it's arguing the wrong thing, right? Like, no one, when you cook, like, for your partner, just like, oh yeah, let's throw together some fucking grilled cheese sandwiches after work, you know? No one is expecting their partner to be like, oh my god, these grilled cheese sandwiches are Michelin shit. Gordon Ramsay would shit out of his ass when he smelled this because it's so good, man. No. It's just, hey, thank you for cooking. This was tasty. I was hungry. Meh. The war crimes committed by Timmy. The Geneva Convention was made for Timmy, and Timmy broke all of it. This is a wild one. Let's do one that is not the butthole. For like a palate cleanser. Am I the butthole for not bringing anything to my friend's potluck after she told me not to? Oh? That sounds like a massive communication problem. Sinister, thank you so much for being a last, you beautiful bean. Geneva suggestion. Yar, we see the codex more like guidelines. The Geneva guidelines. Am I the butthole for not bringing anything to my friend's potluck even after she told me not to? One of my close friends hosted a dinner at her place last weekend. She calls it a potluck and sent a group text saying we should all bring a little something, drinks, snacks, whatever. It wasn't anything fancy, just casual. I asked her what I should bring and mentioned I'd be coming straight from work and might be a little rushed. She replied that I didn't need to worry about it. She had plenty of food and just wanted me to come. Okay, but that's fine. I have done the same. When it's like, I host, for example, barbecue parties in summer. And on the invitation, it's always like, bring your own meat. You know, I'm not gonna buy like 10 pounds of meat for everyone that's coming. Bring your own meat, and then it's also easier because everyone gets what they want, right? Some people are gonna want chicken, some want spit, some want like pork. Then just everyone gets what they want. It's nice and easy. I can manage the barbecue. That's fine. But then on occasion, of course, you have like, you know, one or two friends that are like, oh, hey, I'm coming straight from work, or I didn't have time to get something, or is there any leftover food? And I'm like, yeah, I always buy enough meat, so there's like a bit left over, so people that come or like surprise plus ones, for example, always have enough food, you know, because stuff happens, or, you know, if someone brings something and happens to be bad or whatever. So having a margin is always a good idea, because that kind of stuff happens, and it's not worth making a fuss about, you know, everyone is just there to have a good time. So this, yeah, that sounds completely normal. I align with that. So I didn't bring anything. I showed up, say hi to everyone, and honestly, the night was going fine. People brought stuff, a salad, some cupcakes, a couple of bottles of wine. I was planning to just help clean up and do dishes since they didn't bring anything, and figured she meant what she said. But later on, well, while people were complimenting the food, she made this offhand comment like, well, not everyone contributed, but we're still glad she showed up. What? What? Everyone laughed, and it didn't seem super serious, but I felt my face get hot. I didn't know how to respond. This is weird. That's weird. I stayed polite and tried not to act weird about it, but I felt uncomfortable the rest of the night. On the way home, I kept thinking about it. I get that she maybe is a little annoyed, no, but she's the one who communicated it. Like, if I told one of my friends, like, hey buddy, I know it's tough with work and kids, and you have like 30 minutes to spare to take a shower when you get home before you come here to the barbecue, no worries. I bought some extra chicken you can just steal from my meat. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And I wouldn't be like, well, not everyone brought their meat. Like, no, I offered. Why would you like hold something you offered over someone's head? That is insane. But she literally told me not to bring anything, and now I feel like she put me on blast in front of people for something I didn't even do wrong. I haven't said anything to her yet because it feels small and I don't want to be dramatic, but I also can't shake the feeling it wasn't fair. Am I the butthole? No. If they offered it, and you took them up on the offer, they can't like backtrack it like that. That's weird. Samantha, thank you so much for the 10. Oh, I hope they recover fine. Clara, thank you so much for being a lasso, you beautiful bean. Yeah, this is not the butthole. Your friend is weird. Your friend is like one of those people that, I don't know, communication, question mark? If you tell someone they don't have to bring anything because already taken care of and then hold it over their head, it's like, meh. That was quite rude of the hostess. If there's someone you value, consider bringing it up casually. Yeah, ask if there was a misunderstanding because you thought she said come anyway. Yeah. Yeah, no. This is the blech. Let's do a little poll. Is OP but? Yes. No. Or, whoops. I clicked on start instead of Timmy. Oh well. We'll do Timmy next one. Timmy's gonna have plenty of votes. The lack of proper communication is strong in this post. Yeah. And now I get matchmaking ads. I'm married for 9 years, so... the algorithm knows something that you don't. Yeah, 93% says no, which... yeah. Click, I'm writing my first book. Hell yeah, that's amazing. I feel like people don't know what OP means. OP means original posters, or like, it's the person writing. No, but I don't feel the friend is the butthole either. This is a butthole thing. Like, purposefully embarrassing someone when you've already told them, like, hey, I got you covered. That's a butthole thing. Like, you don't offer something and hold it over someone's head and, like, embarrass them over it. Nah, that's weird. I think the friend is the butthole in this. I wouldn't feel particularly excited about that, nor would I do it to someone else. Luna, thank you so much for being 5, you beautiful being. Democracy. I wish America had that. This is why you come, for your democracy fix. Hell yeah. Let's do a little butthole story. I kinda like doing every second one. This is nice. It's a bit dynamic, isn't it? That's a mean girl thing. Like, Regina George is taking notes. Yeah, maybe. I'm not super experienced with mean girl stuff. But, meh. Yeah, rings a bell. What about the not enough info? This one seems pretty like, Oh, you mean the post with the, yeah, this one. Not enough info. Yeah, let's see. It's not a super long one. Am I the butthole for saying my boyfriend's friend can't visit us now that I am preggo? Wanted to ask you, ridden a motorcycle. I've ridden mopeds, but not really a motorcycle. I don't have a license for it. I've ridden quads, though. That's pretty close. It's like a motorcycle with 4 wheels. My boyfriend has a friend who is currently doing the whole van lifing thing and living out of his van. The past several months, this friend has been coming to our house a couple of days a week. Each time he's here, he stays around 10 to 12 hours to use the shower, kitchen, washing machines, and Wi-Fi. I have been unhappy with the lack of privacy and the extra work for quite a while, which my boyfriend is aware of. But I have been putting up with it because the friend is down on his luck and could use some help. However, now that I'm pregnant, I'm ready for the situation to end. I want to be able to lay on my couch without pants, not shove my giant iron boobs into a bra constantly, and talk about my private medical details with my partner without having to whisper about them in another room. I'm also just worn out in general, and the friend is generating so much extra work. I mean... that I wouldn't be psyched about. Like, I would be perfectly fine with opening my door to a struggling friend. But I would certainly bring it up with them very fast if like, they are dumping shit. You know, if they are dumping their laundry, they're not doing dishes after themselves. It's like, I'm already offering you to utilize my house when you're down on your luck. You sure as shit aren't gonna leave extra work around. Okay, that's where that line is drawn. Very sharply. Very sharply. He comes into our house after doing construction jobs and tracks in a ton of dust and dirt. Every time he showers, he somehow leaves a thick coating of body hair all over the shower I have to clean up before I can shower again. After he uses the washing machine, there's sticks and leaves and sand all over the laundry room. Not only does he hog the kitchen when I want to cook meals sometimes, but he also leaves all his dirty dishes for me to deal with afterwards. Yeah, this just sounds like a shitty roommate. Like, if you're letting someone utilize your housing because of like down on our luck and stuff, I'm perfectly on board with that. I would open my door in that way too if one of my friends was struggling, but not if they did this. This would be like, hey bro, you have to fix this, this, and this. You can't leave your dishes around. I'm already letting you utilize my housing for free, okay? Which I'm perfectly willing to do. You're my friend, but I'm not your damn parent. Nah. That crosses the line. Ideally, I would have my boyfriend deal with the extra work, since he's the one who's inviting the dude over. But with his busier work schedule, most of the household work falls to me. Yeah, but that's not okay. That's not... God. Have they actually spoken to the dude? It might just be... I know some people, I am a bit on that spectrum, but not extreme, that you're not very sensitive to mess. So he's like, Oh, there's a couple of sticks on the floor. I'll pick them up later, you know? But it's still an asshole move to do that in someone else's space. That's the thing. So to me, it's a no-brainer that the friend needs to find somewhere else to be for a couple of months to give me some privacy and a break from the added work. However, when I brought this up, my boyfriend, and told him it was time to set a boundary with the friend, he told me it was, first of all, a very awkward and weird thing to ask his friend. Why? Why? Clean up after yourself, you slob. And secondly, a cruel and insensitive thing for me to request. He is willing to do so for me, but at the same time is making it very clear he thinks I'm a monster for even asking him to do this. Is it actually reasonable for me to put a non-visitors rule in place for a few months or not? I mean, I also feel like, you know, the no-visitor thing probably wouldn't have come up if the dude was, like, cleaning up after himself, you know? If you had, like, a silent roommate that just dropped in for half a day, just to, like, do some laundry, do some dishes, but he cleaned up after himself, that kind of stuff, it's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, why not? That probably wouldn't even be noticed so much. She probably wouldn't even have brought it to, like, the ultimatum, if you will, of kicking him out if he was, like, a good roommate. You know? There's certainly enough info in this. What do you mean? I mean, I don't even think the pregnancy is, like, you know, a particularly deciding concept in this. I just think he sounds like a sucky roommate. Like, he's down on his luck, but that doesn't mean he can trash your place. Alex, thank you so much for being a noble ass, you beautiful bean. If they're living the van life, he can use a laundromat in Starbucks or an internet cafe. Van lives usually have outside showers and mini kitchens. If you can't afford that stuff, don't do van life. Yeah, I mean, it does. They did say he's down on his luck, so I'm assuming he's, like, broke or whatever. Or maybe he's, I don't know, paying off a bad loan or sick family or whatever it might be. Who knows? So it can certainly be a financial struggle, but that isn't their problem, and they're already opening their house for this person to utilize, like, the stuff. The least you can do in that case is to clean up after yourself. That doesn't seem very unreasonable to ask. Yeah, me neither. How is this not enough info? This just sounds like someone, like... I could see it like, you know, if this was someone really bad on their luck, you know, and they had sold off their apartment to pay for their mom's cancer treatment, and, you know, they were cleaning after themselves and all that kind of jazz, and it's like, now we have to kick them out all of a sudden. Then it would be like, okay, it's still your right to do it, but it seems like an overreaction, or whatever. But now it's just a bad fucking roommate that doesn't even pay rent. Maybe the friend is dying or something. And maybe it's something that she doesn't know. Who knows? The book would be Amazon. Hell yeah, that's cool. Congratulations. Lillian, thank you so much for a month. Hey, Clicky Wiki. Hey, welcome in. I do hope you enjoy your stay. Dude can't use the house as he pleases and not be grateful about that help. The bare minimum is making sure things are clean. Yeah, exactly. If you're utilizing someone else's house rent-free, like all the machines, the kitchen, all that kind of jazz, the least you do is to leave it in the same state you left it. I mean, you even have to leave it in the same state you left it, even if you, like, rent a place, you know, even if you do a fucking Airbnb or whatever, then you're paying for it. Now you're not even paying for it, and you can't even leave it the way you found it. Bruh. The boyfriend can clean up after him and see how long it lasts. That's a good one. That's a pretty good one. It's your house and space. Friend has to find somewhere else to impose now and after the child arrives. OP, if Mooch ever visits again, I'd advise you to not do anything to assist clean up. Instead, text a list of all that needs doing. Do it to Moocher's dirt, to your partner, and have him do all the cleanup, no matter what hours he works, because the only reason he doesn't understand the load is because he isn't carrying most of the practical task load. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea, and like the person in chat said as well, because probably what happens is that the husband doesn't think it's a big deal, because 1, he's away at work, so he doesn't see the mess, and he doesn't notice the dude. Number 2, it's already clean by the time he comes home, and 3, which is a legitimate fault on his part, he thinks the wife is over-exaggerating, which is, of course, shitty. You should definitely have your wife's side over this, like, over this friend, in this case. So, yeah. I think this is pretty good. No, text the list to the Moocher. Make it a group chat. Girl Scout food, leave it better than you found it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Info. Aside from the fact that the father of the baby you're expecting called you a monster, what's his plan for when the baby comes? Wait, did he actually say that? Wasn't it like a... Sometimes at a boundary, very awkward. He said it's cruel and insensitive. He's making it clear he thinks I'm a monster. Okay, so he didn't call her a monster per se, but he said it's insensitive, which is wild. It's the moocher boy who's being insensitive because he's getting to use a house for free, but can't even clean up after himself. So this is just, that's just wrong. It's not as bad. The wording isn't as bad as the person in the comments said, but this is just misguided. He has not indicated any willingness to put a stop to the situation once the baby is here, other than perhaps a brief pause, well, immediately postpartum. So you're gonna have some mooching dude drop into your house and create extra cleaning when you're taking care of a tiny baby on sleep deprivation. Yeah. Nah. Get out of here. It has been very hard to get him to discuss the situation directly and create a plan for how to handle it, because every time I bring it up, he gets hurt and disappointed look on his face, quietly mutters about I'm being cruel and then refuses to talk to me about it anymore. I wonder if, like, the husband knows something she doesn't. Like, you know, oh, he can't afford to rent a place because all the money goes to his child that's dying of cancer. You know, maybe an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Maybe it's like, meh. But in that case, you have to communicate it. It's like, I feel super bad doing this. Still doesn't excuse it. Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. If you ask your friends to help you clean after yourself, yeah. The real butthole are the friends we made along the way. I mean, the husband, clearly, girl. Go find someone who cares about you. Yeah, this is weird, especially when there's a child on the way. Like, man, you have a house together. You're gonna have a baby together. And your husband prioritizes, like, some random dude dropping in and dragging in mud all over your house. Bruh. There is no reason for this to be tagged not enough info. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, this tag confuses me. How is this not enough info? I guess this tag comes from the fact that people don't know what this dude is going through. But the point is that isn't her problem. Her problem is her literal household and child. Bruh. Is he van lifing or living out his vehicle? There's a difference. Part of our general disagreement is the fact that we have different opinions of whether the friend's current situation is intentional or not. Based on his social media posts, how many hours he works, and the general life circumstance, it could honestly be interpreted either way. Okay, so he's not like super it's somewhere in between van lifing and borderline homelessness, I suppose. Sounds like he's living out of the van, honestly. At the end of the day, he needs to get his life together, obviously. Whatever he's doing is not sustainable. If he needs to use a shower, he can get a gym membership and shower there. There are laundromats available that he can go for his clothes. Tons of people who live out of the vans are doing van life, find ways to cook and have ranges to make sustainable meals. If he can't get it together, then he needs to be doing housework. It's completely unacceptable for someone to create such a big mess. Yeah, exactly, this is the thing. Like, he's still an adult person who needs to manage his shit, and the least you could do if you utilize someone's house to do this kind of stuff is to clean up after yourself. Spelling is my strongest thing. Yeah, that's relatable. Thank you for the 5. Yeah, no, we're gonna do a little poll for this one. Is OP the butt? So OP is the wife in this case. Because she is the one that's writing the story, right? So is the wife the butthole? The one writing, because she's the one asking. The unborn child is the butt. He wants a mummy, not a wife. That's so weird. So weird. He has overstayed his welcome by being a horrible guest. These are just the consequences of his actions. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it probably wouldn't even have... It probably wouldn't even have been pushed to the point where the wife wants him to, like, you know, leave. If he had been a super good guest, like, he cleans after himself, you know, he is grateful. Maybe he even helps out with some of the other tasks, takes out the trash, you know, that sort of stuff, you know, I don't know. mows the lawn, you know, whatever. If you like did that, you know, do a couple of chores here and there, clean up after yourself, then it's like, bam. Then he probably wouldn't even have been kicked out, you know. Then it's like, oh yeah, he's fine. He even helps a bit with the yard work when he has spare time. That would have been great. That would have been great. Cooked a couple food? Yeah, that too. Like, I would do that. If someone let me crash at their place for free like this, I would definitely be cooking meals and like doing extra errands and shit. I'm not paying rent, for God's sake, you know? Definitely not the butthole on OP's part. And democracy seems to agree. Yes. OP is an innocent bystander being lumped in with extra responsibilities because her partner doesn't appreciate A, pregnancy is hard, and B, the amount of mess his friend is creating. Yeah, I would say, like, even without the pregnancy, this would still be perfectly valid. Like, hey, I'm sick of cleaning up after your dumb friend who can't get his shit together, who can't even take the branches out of the goddamn washing machine after he's done. Oh, man. Here's a butthole one. Oh, hell yeah. Am I the butthole for telling my mom I'll never forgive her if he fucks up my adoption? So this is marked as butthole. Bruh? I have... Wait, how many comments does this have? 300. Is this the butt... Hear the butthole but softly? Okay, let's see. I have, 14 have been living with my aunt, my mom's sister, since I was 8. It was originally because of an issue with her ex-boyfriend, and CPS placed me with my aunt. Then she used to say she couldn't handle 4 kids as a single mom, so I had to stay with my aunt, and then we just didn't talk for a few years. Mine fucking Chad aunt for stepping up. My aunt has been trying to adopt me for years. We're finally able to try to get my mom's parental rights terminated because she didn't speak to any of us or send money or anything for 4 years. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. I mean, saying like, hey, can you stay with my aunt for a bit because I literally can't afford to feed 4 kids? That's one thing. But literally ghosting your child for what is essentially, like, how old are they now? 14. Okay, and 4 years. They didn't talk to them for 4 years? Bruh. It's like 30% of their lifespan. Like half of the life they actually remember. Basically, she abandoned them. Yeah, it's one thing to like, oh yeah, the kid is gonna crash with someone because single parenting literally can't afford to feed the kids. But like, you're just ghosting your fucking kids? Man. I really like living with my aunt. On Tuesday, we go out to eat. She says we take turns choosing the restaurants, but I get to choose almost every week. On Friday, we order pizza and watch a movie and eat ice cream in our pajamas on the couch. What a vibe. When I started middle school, she started taking me to get my nails done with her, so now we do that every other Sunday and at least once a month. Sometimes more during summers or school breaks. The aunt is like the perfect mix between a parental figure and a cool aunt. Man, what an absolute vibe. We go to visit her condo in the mountains. There is a little beach, and the past couple years, she has been letting me hang out with my friends or alone by the beach or downtown by the pool, whenever, as long as I keep my location on my phone and I'm home by the time it gets dark. After my mom got notice that her rights were going to be terminated, she got in contact with my aunt and started emailing my old email address saying she misses me and wants to see me. Why is this marked as the asshole? What? Mom left when OP was 8? Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I could like, you know, if there was like, you know, shitty man in the picture, CPS is involved, single mom is broke as hell, literally can't feed 4 kids, the situation just sucks, right? I could sort of like, okay, yeah, you have to live with your aunt for a bit, it's not great, but the problem is that she like ghosted her kids. That's the wild thing. She sent me pictures of her new family, and she's sending my aunt money so she can say she's a part of my life, she's taking care of me. What do you mean she sent pictures of her new family? What do you mean? So she just dumped her OG child. And then the mom is sending pictures and be like, oh yeah, now that I realize I'm gonna legally lose you, now I'm gonna guilt trip you, and now I'm gonna start sending you money when you're already 14. And send pictures of the... She has a new family? And still didn't reach out to OP until this happened? What the fuck? How is this marked as asshole? This mom sounds like an absolute piece of shit. What do you mean? There's either a major plot twist in the comments or people voting were sniffing glue. Yeah, right? There has to be either a plot twist or people are like, I don't know, man, this is weird. My aunt told me not to contact my mom yet and to let her take care of everything. I listened for a while, then my mom sent me a picture of a bed at her house with a bunch of shopping bags on it, and she said that's my bed, and she has presents for me, and she can't wait for me to come home. The mom is just love bombing, man. She didn't give a shit about you for basically more or less the entirety of your life that you can remember as a child of that age, right? Like most of the time of your life where you've been actually conscious, she has been ignoring you and pretending you don't exist. But then the moment she realizes that she's legally gonna like lose custody, she love bombs you? Bruh? I emailed her back and told her that I don't want to live with her. I haven't seen her or talked to her for 4 years, and I don't even know who half the people in the pictures she sent me are. But she has a new... But she just got married again? And have like new... What is it? Is it either stepkids or new tiny kids? Like babies? What? I also said that I really love living here, and that if she fucks up my adoption, I'll never forgive her, and I'll never speak to her after I turn 18. That's a... Yeah, the thing is that between the ages of 10 to 14, like, what you have to remember is that 4 years, like for someone like me, I'm 32, right? 4 years ago, I was 28. I'm still basically the same person I was when I was 28. I'm a bit more experienced. I have slightly better habits regarding certain things. Slightly worse hairline. But apart from that, basically the same person, right? When you're 14, 4 years is a huge fucking difference, right? The difference between 10 years old and 14 years old versus like 14 years old versus 18 years old, it's a different person, right? If the last time you saw someone is when they were 10 and now you see them again when they're 14, you can't say that you know them. You cannot say that you know them. Like, I have done that with, like, it's not really cousins, it's like cousins, or, that kind of stuff, distant relatives. And I have met them when they were 10, and then I meet them again when they're like 15. It's like, you basically meet them from scratch. It's not the same person. You can be like, oh yeah, I remember when I met you. You sound like an old boomer. Like, I remember I met you. You were such a little poo. And I... My mom called my aunt crying about what I said, and my aunt got mad at me because she told me not to contact my mom. Now I'm wondering if I was the butthole for contacting my mom when I wasn't supposed to and being rude to her. Come in for a while, my mom sent me pictures of her house. I mean, I emailed her back and told her I don't want to live with her. I mean, sure. I mean, you just sort of went against your aunt's wishes, I suppose. But the mom is also the one who was spamming her. It's not like, she was just reaching out of nowhere. Like, she's 14, The mom was being on her case. The mom was, like, gaslighting her, trying to love bomb her, being manipulative as fuck. And the 14-year-old claps back. That's not a butthole thing. They're just being a 14-year-old. Like, and I would say the clapback is also pretty valid. I'm gonna be honest, You can say that, oh, maybe at a certain maturity you would realize that the clapback isn't worth the emotional labor it comes with, right? But I would say that's like a topic of basic naivete at best. It's not a butthole thing. Like, bruh. They were... the mom was being really pushy and shitty. You're the butt, but softly. Your aunt told you not to talk to your mom because of the things she's saying is correct, but because she doesn't want you to mess up the adoption process. I don't see how that will mess up the process. Having in writing, I think this commenter is off, honestly. Having in writing that the kid that is 14, which is at the age where the courts will actually take the kid's wishes seriously, it's not like they're 5, right? Having in writing that the kid has responded to the parent, like, hey, I don't want you to be my guardian, that is not gonna mess up a legal process. I have seen these kind of things firsthand, and if anything, that is a pro for the process because there's a written receipt that this is what the kid itself wants. This is so fucking off, man. These comments are smoking glue. You're a kid, you don't know what you're saying. I mean, okay. I'm all for this kind of thing. I joke often about, like, I don't want to hear 14-year-olds' opinions on Twitter and that kind of stuff because, yeah, the 14-year-olds that are eager to tell their opinion to you on Twitter are usually like smoking something completely different. But that doesn't mean that a 14-year-old is magically clueless when it's like, oh yeah, their parent abandoned them and now they're being manipulative. Like, bruh, nah, come on. How does this comment have 13,000 likes? What the fuck? You're a kid, you don't know what you're saying? Uh-huh. And it's really easy to accidentally say something that messes up legally. I mean, sure, maybe, but this ain't gonna be it. There's nothing that is gonna be messed up in this. All they said was like, I mean, sure, the aunt is like, yeah, don't trigger the mom further because she's obviously poo-poo and she can make it more complicated if she gets vindictive, you know? Sure, I can sort of see that, but they're 14, they clap back at someone who was being really manipulative, a parent that abandoned them, and it's a receipt in writing saying that they don't want anything to do with their parent. Like, nah. Especially since it's over text. Every single little thing that is communicated is going to be heavily scrutinized by your mother's legal team. Yeah, and by the other legal team too, and now you have it in writing that you literally... this is, for example, this reminds me of cases about restraining orders. Restraining orders are typically very under-enforced in my opinion, but one thing that helps is if there is a paper trail of the person applying for it, telling the other person to leave them alone, right? So, meh. The mom doesn't want her back, she just doesn't want the aunt to adopt her. Exactly, yeah. She's like afraid of losing the control or whatever. It's weird. More than that, if you talk to her, your mother is going to get super defensive and try harder to block this from happening. I mean, sure, this I half agree with. This part of the comment I half agree with. Not 13,000 upvotes agree with, but like, sure, I would still advise this 14-year-old that don't talk to your mom, because it's just gonna like make them more stubborn or whatever, or make them double down and make it as complicated as possible out of spite. People like this can be really weirdly spiteful about dumb shit. So like, sure, don't spite them up for no reason, but the rest of it is just off. If you trust your aunt, bear it and listen. You're not a bad person, but you're not... Poor kid, it was a panic reaction. They were just clapping back. Bruh. I don't like this comment. I wouldn't be surprised if this commenter's 15 themselves. Please keep your emotions in check. Yeah, I guess. Your aunt has to follow the law and advice of her attorney, so don't make a job harder and don't complicate it. I mean, yeah, that's advice for the future. I would also say it's not worth talking to your mom, because that might make her double down and like just appeal things to make things spitefully more difficult. But I don't... Asshole? Really? Nah. Come on, man. Come on. No. Nah. Gnome, thank you so much for being a last, you beautiful bean. I mean, this is a 14-year-old that was abandoned by their mom, you know, and now the mom is being manipulative and want to try to lure them back into their life by love bombing. Bruh. Telling a 14-year-old girl to keep her emotions in check is crazy to me. Especially keep their emotions in check when it's a mother getting back into the picture to try to manipulate them after abandoning them for half their life. Like, block her, that's what I have done. Yeah, exactly, that would have been a better advice. It's like, if I were to write a comment under this, I would write it as, completely understandable response. For future reference, don't engage with her, because people like this can definitely try to make it harder just out of spite. I would say the best thing for you to do now is just to block her and let your aunt deal with it. That's it. You don't need to like egg on this 14-year-old calling them a butthole because they clap back at their negligent... what do you even call it? Negligent parent, I guess? Bruh. I still don't see how OP is the butthole. OP is the butthole, according to these people, because they replied once to their mom saying, basically, leave me alone, I don't want to live with you. Hey, let's do a little poll. Is OP butt? Yes. No. Oh man, I forgot Tim. I will add Timmy next one. Yeah, like, I think the comments are off base. Like, I agree with the part where it's like for future reference. Yeah, here, I'm not going to call a 14-year-old being manipulated by the birth mother as the butthole. Not the butthole, sweetie, but going forward, definitely listen to your aunt. She has your best interest at heart. And now there's a paper trail establishing that your birth mother has been in contact. You're allowed to react emotionally. It's very, very human, understandable. But if you get the urge to send another message, please go immediately to your aunt. She will listen and help, I promise. Yeah, but I mean... I don't know what country this is, but like, paper trail establishing that your birth mother has been in contact. What, like spamming an old email address and getting one response after 4 years saying leave me alone? Any reasonable court isn't gonna see that as like reasonable contact. Okay? Like the kind of processes I have seen IRL regarding this kind of stuff, I mean, that is not in the US. So, you know, could be different. But that isn't gonna be anything that is in the mom's favor. Like, if a kid that is 14, which is old enough where the court actually starts taking the kid's opinion seriously, that's not gonna work in the mom's favor. You know? Then you just have a paper trail of the kid telling the mom once, please stop spamming me, leave me alone, I don't want to live with you. Like, huh? Some place in the US would take the mom's side? That's insane. That's insane. OP is not the butthole, and what she said legally helped her. If she lives in the States, she's old enough for the court to listen. That's my point. That's my point. Like, I have seen these sort of cases, IRL, right? And like I said, different countries and stuff, so take it with a grain of salt. But in those cases that were around the same age as this, like mid-teens, then it is a big positive. Like, the court takes it way more seriously. I don't think I've seen a court, at least where I live, not take the kid's side. Like, I have never seen a 14, 15-year-old say, like, I really don't want to live with this parent, for example, because they do this and this. And the court is like, nah, bruh. You know? Like, nah, I don't buy this. I don't buy this. Like, proving that they've been in contact. Would you get one email back after borderline harassing your biological child and they tell you, leave me alone? That's not something that's gonna look favorable. Bruh. Some places in the US automatically choose the closest family side. Meh. You don't get to choose at 14. The court takes their choice into consideration. It usually amounts to nothing. I don't know. At least not here, but depends on the country, maybe. In the USA, they would see that as manipulation. And yes, she is old enough to decide where she wants to live. At the age of 12, they're legally allowed to do that. Hell yeah. My job is literally to witness in custody cases when it comes to CPS and DHS cases. It is so difficult in the USA to terminate parental rights. That is so wild. That is so wild. The mom wants a free babysitter for her new kids. The only reason she's trying now. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Holy shit, is that the only reason she wants the older daughter back? No, that's so dark. That is dark. 22 great months, keep up the good vibes. Hell yeah. Yeah, like I said, with this story, don't reach out to the mom. It's not gonna amount to anything positive. Let the aunt do her thing. But I don't know, calling the 14-year-old a butthole after they have this manipulative mom after them, like, no. I don't like these kind of comments. It's like, you're a kid, you don't know what you're saying. Come on, dude. Come on. The comments are also being assholes. At least in most states, especially in California. That depends on the state. In Texas, they can testify. But even a young girl that I know that was essayed by a father's friend couldn't get away from her father. That is dark. That is dark. Glad I didn't miss this one. Lauren, thank you so much for the 10. Yeah, sometimes I feel like Reddit is like... I oftentimes agree with a lot of stuff that I see on Reddit, especially upvoted stuff that is like more popular or whatever. But sometimes I get into one of these threads and I'm just like... What? What? Like, it's so obvious. When I see a story like this, it's so obvious that the people commenting have never actually been through anything similar themselves. You know? Anyway. Let's take a not the butthole as a palate cleanser. Hell yeah. Yeah, as you get older, you learn not to waste your energy. Exactly. Like, my advice to this 14-year-old would be, don't engage with the mom further. It's just like useless emotional labor for you. I know it can be very satisfying in the moment to lash out because you're angry, and they are a piece of shit. But it's not worth it, because the only person who's gonna drain the most energy is you. And also a person like this mom can purposefully try to make it difficult in the process just out of spite. Right? This isn't a person you can trust to do the right thing even if you push back. So in this case, there is no point in having contact with them. You're not a butthole for telling them to basically frick off, because this parent is an awful person and they're very obviously trying to be manipulative and get under your skin. But for future reference, just block them instead. In the US, there is something called reunitement camps, when they force kids back with abusive parents for bonding. And I'm not sure, but I think there's illegal now. Probably. I hope so. It sounds like conversion camps, but like for shitty parents. Oh my god. They exist and are not illegal? Are you serious? Bruh. I hope they're gone by now. Jesus Christ. Am I the butthole for yelling at my aunt after she kept pressuring me to marry her son? Cousin marriages are common. Okay. I was just about to ask, like, wouldn't that be your cousin? Okay. I see. Aha. Wow. It just answered my question in the first sentence. I was like, wait a second, your aunt's son, that would be your cousin, right? That's a bit weird. If maybe the aunt is adopted or something, it's like, nope, it's the cousin. Sweet home Pakistan, where the skies are incest. And my aunt keeps pressuring me to marry her son, 25M, since I was a teen. Okay, so they're 1 year apart. This started in my teen years. My aunt would start making jokes about, you would make a good daughter-in-law, or you and her son's name would make a good couple, etc. Keep the best genes in the family. Yeehaw! I'm drawing with this stream playing in the background. Hell yeah, Luna. Thank you for the 5. I used to brush it off back then, ignore it and such, hoping it would stop, but they never did. Instead, it started being more common. She started doing it every time we met, and I've shut her down politely every time, saying I'm not interested and it won't ever happen. My mom knew how much it bothered me. She didn't want to disrespect her elders, so she kept quiet and only spoke about it in private when my aunt messaged her. My mom told me to keep quiet and ignore because she won't let it happen. This was very uncomfortable. The whole thing gave my cousin some wrong ideas because he started messaging me in private saying things like, we're getting married in the future, so why aren't you talking to me now? I would just ghost him and ignore the messages. Where is this happening? Pakistan, apparently. Oh my god. Just a few years ago, I lost my temper at a family gathering after my aunt said, you're all grown up now, when are you going to marry him? Our decision is final. Oof. The strong feeling of ick and cringe just made me lash out. I yelled at my aunt, calling her stupid for not listening to me and not understanding what no means. I used mild swear words as well, and it was a whole heated argument. To end the argument, my brother had to physically carry me out of the house, where I had a breakdown and we just left her house. My mom was hurt by this a lot, and I could feel the pain in her voice whenever we spoke about this. She said she just wished that I handled it differently. Why isn't the mom shoving something sharp up somewhere in the aunt? Okay, anyway. After this came a series of unwanted toxicity and drama. My aunt yelled at my mom, making her look like a terrible person for letting that happen, and cut off all ties. Good. Okay, yeah, so the trash is taking itself out. I was just about to say, in the story like this, you know, just make yourself as unpleasant as possible. Like, you know, just put on something really stinky every time you go to meet this cousin and the aunt. You know, just make yourself as unattractive as fucking possible, and like unpleasant and clueless and dumb, and you know, just all that kind of, that's fucking that's what I would do. Just like, okay, well, I guess I'll smear myself in dog shit every time we meet, you know? And, you know, after a while, they're both gonna be like, what the fuck? Oh my god, she must be sick or weird or something, but... That would have been... Anyway, the mom sucks too. She influenced mom's older sister and brother to do the same. Okay. Maybe family is a bigger deal where they come from or something like that, but to me, if this was happening, I'd be like, okay, good riddance. Bye. My cousin got married to someone else, another cousin, and we found out about it through someone else. He got married and divorced just later that year, and how my aunt managed to partially blame me and my mom for that divorce, even though we played no part in it. Oh. I feel kind of bad. I understand the girl's problems, yeah. Especially when there is like a culture in the background that low-key supports it. My mother deals with her siblings often, and sometimes they drag her into dramas. I've seen her cry in her room alone because of this, and it makes me feel bad. Aww. Poor mom, she's getting like bullied by her family because of it. You don't want to partake in incest, so now you're gonna be bullied. I feel like I should have done better or done things differently for the sake of my mom. All this toxicity and drama would have been avoided if I did things different. I mean, I on a cultural level, I don't know how involved family is in, like, you know, general life or work or community or whatever it might be. You know, it works very differently in different places in the world, but man, I would cut them all off and never look back. I'm gonna be honest. How the fuck can you take the side of something like that? Not the butthole. Your aunt has some weird delusion after you said no 100 times that you were still going to marry him. You are your own person, deserve respect. No one should be telling you how to marry. Heck, you don't have to marry at all if you don't want to. She's very delusional. Yeah, sounds like it. Did your mom really have a healthy relationship with her siblings before this? That's a good point. I remember it being healthy aside from all this cousin marriage drama. Mom really cared for her nieces and nephews as well as her sister. I mean, maybe healthy on a surface level, but this certainly isn't normal. Katayama, thank you so much for being a loss, you beautiful bean. And Alex, thank you so much for the 10. Just wanted to say that I'm in my last semester of college. Hell yeah, that's beautiful. Good luck. I do hope it goes well, and you get the job that you want afterwards. Hell yeah. Foxy, thank you for the 10. Thanks for being company while I ADHD'd my way through my taxes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, get them taxes slayed. Yas. It sounds like your family was used to your mother doing whatever they wanted to keep the peace, and intended to do the same to you. Basically, yeah, this sounds like it didn't come out of nowhere, you know? But man, that sucks. That sucks. Yuck. This comment points out what I want to know more about. A lot of the opinions you're going to get here are from Western perspectives. I don't know what it's like to live in Pakistan. I asked this in the subreddit. In a subreddit I'm modding, got similar answers from Pakistani perspective. That's good. Hell yeah, that's good. It's a general subreddit for Pakistani people where they can ask for advice, ask questions. Okay. Okay, so they did actually get a similar result to this one in a local subreddit. That's promising. Hell yeah. Well, then it's pretty unanimous that your family's unhinged. Booyah. From Pakistan, I don't blame you in the least. She pushed and you broke, especially with your cousin buying into your aunt's delusions. Your mother is better off without the toxic relationships and people in her life. But you have to realize she may not see it that way given the importance of family in our culture. Exactly, that's what I wanted to know. Like, how big of a deal is the family aspect? Because depending on how big it is in community and statuses and that kind of stuff, it can be a big deal. I mean, on a very personal, isolated level, it sounds like the siblings suck ass, but, you know, in a culture like that, I can also see it be very difficult. I'd encourage you to persuade her for therapy to gain another outlook, and she's open to it, and to build a community outside of the family. Man, that sucks. Alright, time for democracy. Is OP Butt, which is the girl who wrote the story in this case. Yes? No? Timmy. Culture isn't an excuse. No, but my point is that how big of the impact is the one on the mom, you know? Is she gonna lose everything because her family cuts her off? You know, is it that kind of thing? Which would mean that she's basically beaten into submission. You know, there's a difference between, like, they are both basically being controlled and abused by their family. That doesn't make the mom an enabler. Does that make sense? You know? They can both be victims of the same shit, you know? It just takes on different shapes because the mom is being controlled by the family and community and stuff, and the daughter is being forced to marry, you know? It's like... I was tempted to vote Timmy, but I don't want to be predictable. That way the Timmy vote hurts more when it arrives. Yep. I watch your videos while filming my own videos. Hell yeah. The bots voted yes. The cousin voted yes. Who the hell voted yes? I always assume it's a bot or a misclick. But yeah, no, very clearly not the butthole. Very unhinged. And I mean, based on the comments as well, from like people also from Pakistan, and in the subreddit they posted in as well, it seems that everyone agrees. Like, it's not even like, even locally people agree the aunt is unhinged, right? The aunt can't even be like, oh my god, culture or whatever. Like, no, everyone thinks you're unhinged, okay? Bruh. Klaus, thank you so much, 17. Timmy is the one we blame for literally everything. It's always Timmy. It makes it easy. Makes it easy. Sucks up our sins. I watch your videos in the office. My manager thought I was on a meeting. Because it looks professional? Oh, hell yeah. That's beautiful. You get paid for watching my streams. Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's what it's supposed to be. Yes. Timmy is like the scapegoat. Oh, here we go. This was the one who inspired my little edit in the thumbnail. Am I the butthole for yelling at a 19-year-old and asking him to be fired? Ooh, interesting. Oh, this is a slightly longer one. Alright. Hell yeah. I, 37M, and my husband, 39M, have been together for 11 years. My husband owns a small bookshop and recently hired a boy to help him. This lad, I'll call him Joe, is gay, and while me and my husband very obviously have no issue with this, because everyone is gay, Joe seems to do things a lot differently to us. For context, both me and my husband are Irish immigrants to London. We grew up 20 minutes away from each other and went to the same very Catholic school. We aren't exactly flamboyant or outwardly gay and don't exactly do PDA stuff, since that's how we were raised. Public displays of affection, I think that means. I was like, what the hell is that? But I clocked it pretty fast. I think that's public displays of affection, so like kissing in public and that sort of stuff. On my lunch break from work, I like to visit my husband, bringing him records. I think he might like us and his coffee. Recently, however, Joe has started making comments. It started with him saying things about queer joy, and how he loves gay couples, which we didn't mind at all. In fairness, it's a fairly scary word for queer people right now, and I understand seeing a happy married gay couple means a lot for a kid. Yeah, especially when, like, they're in their upper 30s and have done well for themselves and that kind of stuff. It definitely brings inspiration and hope for, like, the future that, oh man, I can also be there in a couple of decades. Hell yeah. But then he started getting a little too comfortable for my liking. He started asking things like, who's the top? And calling us the F-slur jokingly. I think it's entirely inappropriate to be making those comments to his boss, but my husband has told me to let it go. That, for a workplace, that's inappropriate. That's inappropriate. It's like, imagine if you go up to a straight couple, and you're like, so how often do you guys do it in the butt? It's like, it's the same shit, right? It's fucking weird. Like, no. Joe calls us the F-slur a lot, which I brought up a few times, telling him to calmly not do that. But when he continued, I learned to let it go despite my distaste for it, since it didn't seem to bother my husband too much, but last Wednesday I lost it. I was up by the counter when Joe came in. He immediately started blathering on about how F-slurry we are, and while my husband chuckled awkwardly, I did not. Is this gay kid Timmy grown up? Oh no, it's Timmy. This is gross. Yeah, it is. It is. It's like overstepping. And when they've already said, like, hey man, can you not do that? And they still push it. It doesn't really matter what it's about, but just keeping pushing it like this, especially in a professional context, it's, nah man, come on. Joe noticed this and said I was a stick in the mud and repressed. Is this little 19-year-old douche really gonna go around and like have strong opinions about how a gay couple that's been married or been together for 11 years act in their relationship? You're really gonna tell a gay couple that's been together for 11 years that they're repressed because they don't go around tossing around slurs? Bruh. Are you wow. So you're gatekeeping their own relationship for them. That's productive. I was trying to keep my cool until they called me a Fenian F-slur. I don't even know what that is. What is Fenian? Fenian. Oh, it's the Irish stuff, right. A member of the Irish Republican Brotherhood, a 19th century revolutionary nationalist organization among the Irish in the US and Ireland. The Fenians staged an unsuccessful revolt in Ireland in 1867. and were responsible for isolated revolutionary acts against the British until the early 20th century, when they were gradually eclipsed by the IRA. Ah, that's IRA rings a bell. That's some good history. Oh, bruh. Okay, yeah, that's Is this the queer a-hole version of It's Just a Joke, Bro? Basically, yeah. Oh my god, man. He's a little edgelord. He is a little edgelord. Oh my god. He's the gay version of being a little like 4chan edgelord. Oh my god. This is sexual harassment? Yeah, basically. And I lost it. For anyone who doesn't know, the term Fenian isn't exactly a slur or anything, but isn't exactly nice either. Yes, we just googled. I just looked it up because it rings a bell, but it's not my area of expertise. But yeah, and it connects to like some more recent historical stuff as well that isn't great. Me and my husband jokingly call each other Fenians, or Paddies from time to time, if with something particularly Irish. And I've never exactly viewed it as a very offensive word to me, but something about this English point made me snap. Yeah, but it's different, right? It's different. Like, you're bantering with your partner that you have rapport with. And the key is that also you both come from the same background, right? Like, that's different. You bantering between... Like, this is the same thing, like, if the two of you had that sort of rapport where you're like, "Oh, husband, you're such an F-slur. Haha." And then an outsider comes in and starts calling you the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's no longer banter with someone you have rapport with. It's just an outsider being disrespectful, right? The word is the same. The impact, the meaning, and the intention is not. It's also employee versus employer. Yeah, that too. It's also in a professional context, which certainly isn't any plus points. It's like N-word privileges. Yeah, basically. I asked him if he thought that it was an appropriate thing to say to his boss's partner, and started shouting, telling him that he's way out of play and if he wants to keep his job, he should buck up. I left to cool down a bit, and 30 minutes later I got a call from my husband berating me, saying that Joe was crying and he's just a kid. He's 19. So, sure, young, but not so young that he doesn't understand that, like, don't sexually harass your boss, you know? It's like, yeah, a kid that can vote. Yeah, 19 isn't a kid. 19 is young, for sure. It's legally an adult. They have a job, they can vote, they can drive a car, they can get married. It's not a child. I do feel really bad, since he's only young, but I think he needs to be knocked down a step or two. Am I the butthole? No, he crossed the boundary multiple times and refused to stop. He just, this is sort of what happens when you insist on pushing that boundary 5 times over. Edit, I see a lot of people making comments about the nature of the relationship between Joe and my husband. My husband has asked Joe to stop on my behalf before, but this isn't something that really bothers my husband, as to be fair, it's his workplace, not mine. Update, Joe is my husband's son. What? 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 This is some fucking Star Wars shit. What the fuck? Joe, I am your gay father. Ah! What? Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Join the gay side, young Skywalker. What? 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 They have been together for 11 years and didn't know he had a 19-year-old son. What? Howdy, click. Hey, Char. Thank you so much for the 5. Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you so much. I do hope you enjoy the stream. But still, what? Read the rest of the update. I won't go into much too detail for both for the privacy, but I have a major fight with my husband about why he was being so lenient with him and why we didn't have my back in this. We were shouting back and forth until he shouted about blood being thicker than water. I shout back about him being just some boy, and he stopped suddenly. Then he told me, Joe is from an ex-girlfriend of his who is now unable to take care of him, so my husband picked it up. Okay. I mean, He's been paying child support for years. We each have our separate bank accounts. I didn't even notice. I'm contemplating separation and divorce. Someone I've known for 25 years became a stranger in 10 seconds. Ooh. I mean, at least he didn't cheat, right? Because they've been together for 11 years and the kid is obviously way older than that. So this is from a relationship before they were ever together or married, right? So like, it's at least not cheating, but it's still like low-key a secret child. You know? That's like, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I physically got sick thinking back on those naughty remarks that he made to his father. I didn't even think about that. No, oh my god. Oh. Holy shit. Chat, can you imagine coming in to your parents' workplace and being like, "What up, my F-slur? Are you the top back home?" Can you imagine asking your damn parent that if he's a top? Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. No. 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 What? No. Oh no. This was just some wholesome, like, gay bookstore shit. Oh my god, man, no. Oh no, why? Why would you do this? Why would you ruin my day like this? Please. My husband always went white as a ghost when he said those kind of things. And that was possibly the only thing he actually gave out to him for. But it makes me feel sick all the same. Sorry, won't be responding to comments. I need to get my head right. Not the butt. The kid is 19, old enough to know saying harmful remarks, etc. I apologize to your husband for the scene you caused. That must be before. This comment is before the update, isn't it? This sweet summer child, EJ 1004, had no idea what was coming. Had no idea. Oh my god. I'm not amused. This is all sort of wrong. I feel bad for OP. That kid needs his gay card taken away. Oh. 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 What? What the why? Oh. This is a classic niche porn plot, is it? How? How does this result in intimacy? Oh, I hire this young secretary. That is my literal child. Oh, bounce, what? What do you mean this? What do you mean this is a famous adult film plot? How does this evolve into anything adulty? Rule 34? Okay, that makes more sense, but still. Bloody hell. Why do you know of this niche plot? I don't know, someone in chat said it. I hate the saying blood is thicker than water, because people never consider the whole verse. The whole verse is blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, so the water is family, hell yeah. And it also, like, completely depends on people. Like, blood is thicker than water. To be fair, when you get married and have literal babies with someone and shared economy and everything like that, they are not your blood, you know? Your literal wife or husband is not your blood. So, like, that saying is a bit like, I don't know, a likely story? What do you mean? What? Everything is corn these days. Ketchup is thicker than blood. Ooh, we should just get married in ketchup. We can, sponsored by Heinz. We do baptizing in ketchup. Well, they shouldn't bleed your blood, ideally. I mean, if it's like the stereotypical adult film plot, yeah, probably. The kid might not know that's his dad. Of course the kid knows it's the dad, right? They have to know. Like, literally. Like, the mom sent him away. Be like, go stay with your dad. He'll take care of you. You can work in his shop. You think it, like... I can't take care of you anymore, but there's this random gay dude who runs a bookstore. I think it's more likely that he knows that it's his father. The kid is doing it on purpose to break them up. Ooh. Ooh, that's spicy. That's spicy. Do you think that is the case? That would be ridiculously spicy. My god. Emotional incest, more like verbal incest. Ooh. Ah. Ah. God. Isn't family beautiful? Is he into the husband? Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's trying to be cool and edgy and naughty in front of the husband because he wants to steal his dad's husband. That's great. Dear God. Dear God. Anyway, let's do a little democracy on this one. Is OP the butt? Yes. No. It's the damn child's fault. Dear God. Lauren, thank you so much for being a noble ass, you beautiful bean. Oh, man. Absolutely great, isn't it? Man, so beautiful. Jackie, thank you so much for being a noble ass, you beautiful bean. Whoa. It's the damn child's fault. It's the damn child. I misclicked. There's always someone. Always someone. I mean, I would say up to like 4% is probably like error margin of people misclicking, to be fair. That's probably a statistical good significance thing to draw a line at. The one time it's actually the damn child's fault. I mean, to be fair, it's also on like the husband for like literally keeping a secret child. Like, at least he wasn't a cheater. That would have been even worse. But like, secret child is pretty up there, you know? It's pretty high up there. Kid may resent dad for gay because you left mom because gay. Also, hi click. Hey, Maddie, welcome in. Thank you for the 5. It's possible, yeah. Maybe. But it sounds more like he's just being edgy and weird. I don't know. But maybe. The dad could clear Joe till he moves up. Star Rider, thank you so much for being a lousy, beautiful bean. Would be hilarious if the kid's middle name was Timmy. Joe Timmy. That's an unfortunate combination. It's the child's fault. What's the click holding? This is just a pen that I'm fidgeting with. I was also fidgeting with this. But it's like my armband, but I took it off because it kept falling off when I was working out, so I didn't want to lose it. I need to like tighten up the little gaps in it. Pen is in Click's hand. I promise I can write and sometimes spell. No, I cannot spell. I am dyslexic as fuck. Anyway, am I the butthole for refusing to be my sister's bridesmaid because she chose ugly friends to make herself look better? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I can totally see why this is marked as not the butthole. As, oh my god. My sister, 27F, is getting married and asked me, 24F, to be one of her bridesmaids. I was excited. Until I found out who the rest of the bridal party was. Every single one of them is someone she's either not that close to or has made fun of before for being awkward or not photogenic. Some of her actual best friends, the one who she sees all the time, weren't even asked. I remember reading a wedding story a while ago where a person was like uninviting people from the wedding because they didn't think they were hot enough, right? If someone was a bit chubby, for example, they would not invite them to the wedding because it would look not aesthetic enough in the photos, you know, that sort of stuff. This is like the extreme opposite. It's like, oh my god, man. It's like, some bridezillas are like, everyone needs to be a fucking model, otherwise you can't be at my wedding because aesthetics. And then on this side, it's like, I'm not gonna invite my besties as my bridesmaid party. I'm only gonna invite people I think are ugly, so I look hotter. Which one is worse? Which one is worse? Like, honestly, okay, if I had an invitation to, like, a photo shoot for a friend getting married, would I be more upset if that friend told me, like, sorry, Click, you put on a bit of weight lately. You can't be in the wedding photos because you don't fit our aesthetic? Or would I be more upset if I found out that I was invited to the photo so my friend would look hotter because they think I'm ugly? Which one would be worse? Which one would be worse? I mean, maybe the second one is actually worse because it's more of like a sneaky betrayal, right? Because they don't tell you. The first one are a complete asshole, but at least they're upfront about it, right? There's no secrets. They're just an asshole. The second one is asshole and secretive, so you wouldn't know about it unless you find out. Okay, let's see. Which one is worse? Which one is worse? We need to have democracy. Which one is worse? Uninvited because you're ugly, or invited to look ugly beside hot bride. Beside bride. There we go. Which one is worse? Which one is worse? Yeah, I think people think the second one is worse. That's for me too, because it's not like upfront about it, right? The first one is at least like, oh wow, they just straight up told me they're an asshole. Alright, bye then, I guess, you know. Bleh. But the second one is like sneaky, because you're still invited, but you're only invited to be ugly. Invited to look ugly will make me feel used and humiliated. Yeah, the first one, like being uninvited, is like, I would never speak to the people again, don't get me wrong, because I think they're vain and shitty people, but the second one is like worse, because you're also being used as a prop. You know? I'm not voting if I can't vote both. Oh my god. We've seen it all, though. We've seen it all, chat. We've seen it all. Alright. 80% roughly seems to think second option is worse. But to be clear, both are pretty fucking bad. It's like, you know, saying, oh, is it worse to murder 2 children or murder 3 children? It's like, well, you know, 3 children is obviously more dead children, but that doesn't mean that 2 murdered children is great. You know, it's that sort of thing. Anyway, it felt weird. So I asked her why she picked this group. She kind of laughed and said, you'll understand when it's your wedding. You don't want people who will outshine you in your own pictures. Okay, this is why you wear white, right? This is why you choose, like, a more low-key color, perhaps, for the people around in pictures. And the bride has the big white dress, right? That's how you make them glow in the centerpiece, right? Hence the rules about white dresses and stuff, right? That's how you do it. Okay. This is unhinged. I just stared at her. I asked, so you picked them because you think they'll make you look better? She rolled her eyes and said, it's not that deep. I just wanted to feel confident that day, and I'm allowed to be a little selfish for my wedding. That rubbed me the wrong way. I told her I didn't want to be part of a bridal party built on tearing other people down, even subtly, so that she could pick people should have picked people she actually cared about. But now she's calling me judgmental and sensitive. She is calling people judgmental. Oh my god. Oh bruh. Oh nah. Nah. She's indirectly calling her sister ugly. Yeah, I know, right? That's also like part of this beautiful package. Every accusation is a confession. In this case, definitely, yeah. I don't want to be confident. I get rid of everything that makes me not at all confident, which are all my close friends. That's also like kind of wild, but I think that speaks more about the sister, that she's like weirdly insecure and competitive about really vapid shit. And our mom says I am being too idealistic. You're being too idealistic because you don't want to prop up all your ugly friends to make your sister look hotter at her wedding. You're also included in those ugly friends, mind you. Well, yeah, just yeet the whole family at this point, and should just support her. But I feel like going along with it makes me complicit. Am I the butthole? Some may disagree, but I don't do their families who must comply with everything I don't agree with because their family, it's their day. No, of course not. They're saying you're being judgmental, but they're literally making a judgment that anyone else would be the center of attention but the bride. Yeah, and they're also judging everyone's appearance and picking people just to try to make them look ugly in photos. That's wild. Exactly, this is what we pointed out. So what does this mean she thinks of you? And clearly she doesn't think that much about herself. It's so sad that women are pushed to feel and act this way when this would likely not be happening to so many grooms. Applaud you for saying something and not participating. Yeah. But also don't let her off the hook. She's definitely a piece of shit. Like, she doesn't represent the average woman, you know? Like, damn. She's always been like this. I'm rather curvy, and she has never failed to shame me for it. Nice sister vibes. She's a typical model-esque skinny person, and she got a lot of attention growing up. She's beautiful, no doubt, but yes, I have a good-looking partner, and she has subtly hinted that he could do better than me. Man, what a pile of poo-poo sister. It's also ironic that the sister, at least according to this logic, is actually pretty good-looking. Why are you this insecure and toxic about it? You could just be like, thank you, God, for giving me a decent jawline, and then you just go about your day and be fucking happy about it. Why do you have to be this weird and toxic about it, man? What? I don't see what she has to be insecure about. She's objectively good looking. As for my appearance, I like the way I look, I'm comfortable with it. I just don't see why she feels the need to bring others down to make herself feel better. One of my favorite retorts when someone criticizes me for something, does that make you feel better about yourself? My guess is that's why she does it. It makes her feel better about herself. I wouldn't want to hang around someone like that either. Yep. No, she's a pile of poo. That's time for voting. Ish OP, but yes, no. So OP is the person writing the story, the sister in this case. Child's fault. It is time for democracy. Sounds like the sister is internally miserable. Yeah, right? Like, if you are already blessed with, like, good looks, like, it takes effort too, don't get me wrong. Like, you still have to, like, stay in shape and that kind of stuff. But if you have the combination, like, you're in good shape, you haven't, for example, experienced any kind of sickness or problems that makes it harder to stay in shape, you're blessed with, like, a decent bone structure in your face or whatever, just be fucking happy about it. Like, bruh, what do you mean? How does that make you more insecure and bitter? What? Anyway, that's insane. Timmy's the one who made everyone ugly. Oh, bruh. Bruh. I love democracy. Managed democracy for Super Earth. Looks fade. A terrible personality is forever. When I get old, I'm gonna have a cool gray shaved head and a killer mustache, and I'm gonna be jacked. That's gonna be my, like, look when I'm 55. Or I'm gonna have, like, long hair if I still have thick enough hair to rock that. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be me. Hell yeah, like, imagine Gandalf, but jacked and with a mustache instead of a full beard. It's basically gonna be it, yeah. It's basically gonna be it. Slay? Bro, 55 is not that old. It's not that old, but it's significantly older than I am now. At 55? Okay, maybe it's more like 70, to be fair. Maybe it's more like 70. But still, you know what I mean. I am 55. I feel like I offended a bunch of people in chat now. I'm gonna get cancelled for this, aren't I? 55 is DILF age. That is true. Like 70 is more like GILF age, I suppose. Yeah. 70 I'll give you. Yeah, okay. Maybe more like 70, alright? I'm an old person. Because my dad is 72 and he still looks 50. Yeah. Got them good aging genes. Hell yeah. I'm still showing my ID when I go liquor shopping. So they're like, you could totally be 20 or lower. And I'm like, don't make me blush. Ooh. Gilf? Yeah, what, you never seen a Gilf? Ooh, Daddy Gandalf. What that staff do? I'm almost 35, so no, it's not old. I'm 34 but have pink hair. Maybe that's the alternative way. It doesn't go gray, it goes pink. Hell yeah, it's a feature, not a bug. My dad is 55, looks 35. God damn. That gives me hope. Gives me hope. Hell yeah. Daddy Gandalf was not in my bingo list. It should be. It should be. I think he would look great with long hair. I had long hair when I was a kid. Looked awful. But I think you need like certain amount of features and other stuff to rock it, right? At least for me, because my hair is pretty flat. It looks okay when it's short. But like when I grow it out, it just kind of like... It just becomes like flat curtains, you know? There's no volume. I mean, it has a lot of volume here. But like when I grow it too long, it just like... It just like implodes on itself. And it becomes a super compact curtain. It's not great. My aunt said, I think your uncle has early set of Alzheimer's. I said, early onset? He's 70. Haha, he's a POS. He deserves it. Oh my god. When your old creepy uncle starting to get dementia and you start gaslighting him because of it. Cold. Long hair maintenance sucks. It also takes forever to dry. I remember when I had like long hair when I was a kid. I was like 14 or something. And when I had showered after gym class, I remember in winter, I would get like icicles in my hair. I actually got icicles in my mustache once when I was skiing with it. That was kind of cool. You don't look a day over 40, Clicky. Anyway, how fun. Do we have another butthole story? Do I have another butthole? I want more butts. Holes. I mean, ooh, as everyone sucks. That's a bit of a change of pace. Am I the butthole if I refuse to call the dentist for my fiancé who has impacted wisdom tooth? Okay. This seems very petty. Anyway, first of all, I would like to say that this is ridiculous and not a big deal, but for some reason it became one. I, 25F, had an impacted wisdom tooth that was wrapped around the nerve. While I was pregnant, I asked him, 26M, if he could call the dentist because it hurt to talk. He said no. Now it's 1 year later, and he has now an impacted wisdom tooth, and I sympathize with him, but he asked me to call the dentist for him, and I said no. His mom is now asking me to call for him. I said no. He's upset about it. Does this make me a butthole? You both just kind of suck. I mean, the more appropriate, the thing I would have done, right? Like he sounds like a butt. What? Like he's a butthole. What I would have done is probably like be a smartass about it and just be like, see, that's what it feels like, you little shitbag. And then I make the call anyway, you know? Just be petty. What kind of relationship is that? Yeah, one I wouldn't be in, at least. My hair is almost 4 inches. Back when women would say I have to take the day to wash my hair, I literally have to take a day to wash my hair. Oh, 4 feet. Oh, it's 4 feet. It's two little dots. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, that's not very long hair. That's That's not that love. Okay, yeah, that makes way more sense. 4 feet makes way more sense. Yeah. like, huh? Like, took a day to dry it? Like, huh? Okay. Yeah, nah. Freedom units be complicated, man. I ended up calling anyway because I felt bad. He apologized before I called. Turns out it was a wisdom teeth and infection so bad it's eating his jawbone. So now I feel really bad. Mm-hmm. Oh. Right, yeah. Okay, great. Hang on, his mom called you to ask to call. Mommy can call her own damn self if you're trying to meddle in your relationship. Yes, everyone sucks, but I'm not even mad at you about it. My petty ass would do the same thing. I think I would just be a smart ass about it. Like, I would just be a smart ass. I'd be like, see? Now you know how it feels. Look, here's the phone. Am I gonna call? Ooh, ah, ee, and then I call. You know, why not? Be a little smart ass. That's fine. Be petty. You can be a bit petty. You don't play with teeth health? Yeah, that too. That's the kind of thing that'll mess you up. Oh, here is a no buttholes here. This is nice. I don't think we need to do really a poll on the other one, because everyone is just a butthole. Am I the butthole for disagreeing that I shouldn't wear shorts because a girl finds me wearing them uncomfortable? Oh, okay. Some girl gets uncomfortable around you because you're wearing shorts. Okay. Hi all. I'm someone who's always been wearing shorts my whole life. I've always worn shorts every weather, going gym out, training, anything. So today my cousin messaged me and told me not to wear shorts tomorrow. We're all meeting up at her place, and I asked why. He told me his girlfriend finds it uncomfortable that I wear shorts. Oh my god, who cares? I don't mind not wearing shorts, as it's her house at the end of the day. I ended up messaging her asking to better understand her. She told me she personally has felt uncomfortable when I have worn shorts because of the positions I sit in. She said it shows my thighs and a bit more higher up. Okay. Okay. I think this is the kind of post, right? It's marked as no a-holes here. I haven't finished it yet. Okay? I haven't finished it yet, right? So maybe it has more info later that will change my mind. Okay, bear with me. But gender swap this. Gender swap this for a second. And see how you feel about it. You know? Yeah. It's fucking weird. Which I was like, what the heck? My shorts go up my knees, but okay. She didn't even know how to tell me, so told my cousin to tell me. She said she wanted to tell me from her perspective, but also said she's not looking there directly, but when she's seen by accident, she's had to look away? What does that mean? My shorts go up to my knees, literally. It's both wrong ways. Yeah, of course, but like my point is that sometimes you'll think that, oh, a man wearing shorts and someone commenting on this, you'll just shrug it off as like, okay, that's weird. But if you gender swap it, you realize how, like, creepy it can come off. You know, we have biases, and sometimes having those little swaps in these sort of stories can be sort of productive. I've seen these kind of comment sections go bananas, but you also know the comment section would go bananas in the other direction if it was, like, gender swapped. There are biases and groupthink when it comes to that sort of stuff, for sure. I have worn shorts in front of her several times. I literally wear shorts all the time. I just found it so weird. So I spoke to one of my other cousins. He said that if a girl said me wearing shorts makes her uncomfortable, I need to firm it and stop wearing shorts. Yeah, this is what I mean with like gender swapping. Can you imagine saying this to a woman? Right? Like, hey, I demand you stop wearing shorts to come to my house because it's distracting and your thighs or your knees are showing. Firm? Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a translation issue or something. Maybe a typo. So I'm like, no, that cousin also has a fucked up opinion because like just gender swap it and see how you feel about it. It's weird. This is weird. I was like, what the frick? He said I'm not being a man, and if I made someone uncomfortable, I need to compromise. Now she's just being creepy. If you were to gender swap this, people would be telling the man to, like, control his urges or whatever, you know? They mean affirm, not firm. Ah, that makes way more sense, yeah. Affirm it, okay. Yeah, if this was gender swapped, people would be telling the man to control his urges and not be such a horn dog animal, you know? Yeah, nah, this is weird. GF definitely has a crush, yep. I said this is not similar when a guy tells a girl not to wear a crop top, for example. He ended up saying they are completely different, with crop tops being normalized for girls to show like guys like it. It's natural. He told me to say sorry I made her uncomfortable. No. Crop tops are normalized. What, shorts are not normalized? What do you mean? Since when are shorts not normalized? What argument is this? Has everyone in this person's life just lost their damn mind? If you don't like what I'm wearing, well, you're only bothered because you're staring. Yeah, basically, right? My fellas, his body is not that exposed. Read the edit. Oh, we're getting there. Oh, we're getting there. He was saying that I'm not being a man. If I don't care, I made a girl uncomfortable, not willing to change, so doesn't know what to say. I was honestly so baffled that he just kept saying I need to change and stop wearing shorts. Just deal with it and stuff and say sorry. What do you all think? Am I the butt? I'm happy not to wear shorts to our house at the end of the day, but telling me not to wear shorts because you're uncomfortable is crazy. Why need to change what I wear to accommodate? Yeah, I think it's like, if they had simply said like, oh yeah, the dress code is business casual, jeans and a nice shirt, then it's like, okay, sure. But, this is weird. Thanks for the response, quite an eye-opener. Clarify. Yes, I do wear underwear. I just had like a little ball sack hanging out on one of the legs. No way on earth I never wear a skirt. Oh my god, yes. Oh my god. If OP is watching this, please wear a skirt next time with no underpants. And then, like, you know, do this thing where you like cross your legs like this a bit too much. Like you move to side like that, you know. Oh hell yeah, just establish fucking dominance. Oh yes. A lot of people are calling me the butthole because they think I'm showing my junk purposefully. Absolutely not. No way on hell. That's disgusting, and no. Dominance! Lastly, majority of the comments are saying my genitals may have been showing because of the positions I sit in. However, why I'm confused is I have worn those shorts several times in front of my friends and family, sitting on the couch, etc., etc. If my genitals ever shown, I would have been told 100%. Yeah, that's not... My family would have told me, and so on and so forth, and underwear. In the case that I'm wrong, I have worn the shorts for time. No one has ever told me anything. Just experiment. I have worn that short and sat on the chair across the mirror to see. Even when trying to show, nowhere near my genital area. If anything, the max it shows is my upper quads. Also, recently we all went up in our chilling. There were so many of us, and I wore that shorts and sat on the sofa. However, no one has said anything, and I'm 100% sure I would be told. The girls would have mentioned it too, 100%, but not. I asked one of my friends if they have ever seen anything, or the girls literally said no, they haven't mentioned anything. He also sat across from me many times. I have asked my friends, he said no, like I mentioned. All of us told this because I have made her uncomfortable, I shouldn't wear shorts, that's all. I have not been told by my cousins that I've exposed myself as literally as one person, the girl saying it. This is why I thought it was weird. But everyone, thank you very much for your responses. Yeah. This thread is now locked due to an excess of rule violations. What? What? On a post about shorts? Oh. Okay, this comment is before the edit, I think, because it's discussing, like, seeing up the legs. This is a family place, put the mouse back in the house. I don't get this reference. Used to not wear underwear. Oh no. Oh god. Not the balls falling out of the shorts. Logan, thank you so much for the 5. William, a happy birthday. Happy birthday, William. I do hope you have an amazing birthday and eat too much cake. Hell yes. It's from Friends. Ah, it's from Friends. They're trying to say they can see your balls, but without being buttholes about it. But nah, the edit kind of clarifies it. Because he was checking in the mirror. He's wearing underpants. He's not looking to see up the legs. I mean, she decides to dress. I mean, sure, if they say like, "Hey, business casual tonight," sure, but she politely told you about telling you saw your dingleberries. I don't know, man. This is weird. Like, at least after the edits, right? It's like underwear. Sounds like it's pretty like formal shorts or whatever. I think I have like the same shorts as he's talking about. They're not that revealing, man. Low-hanging fruit? Oh. I don't know. All the comments seem to be made, like, before the edit. So they're all just talking about, like, oh, no underpants, and you can see it up the thing. We can see your junk. I don't know. You're not answering what you wear under your shorts. Okay, so yeah, so all these comments are made, like, after the edit. Nah. Mankini miniskirt? Hell yes. Geek, thank you so much for being a lasso. Trust me, when you check in the mirror, you don't sit, stand, or move in the same way as in the wild. Talking from experience with super short skirts and embarrassing photos from my teen years. I mean, yeah, that I can definitely understand. But it's also like just normal shorts, man. Bruh. I don't know. I believe him. There's no way that no one would have said something if he was sitting and was showing off his jewels towards through his shorts. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, especially after the edits. I don't know, man. I don't know. Especially if it's only this one person being so forward about it, but refusing to say. It's like, hey, man, no one has told you, but those shorts kind of like, they don't leave much to the imagination, so to say. You know? That would have been like, yeah. Read the number one commenter. Didn't we already do that? Shorts lose basketball shorts. Don't she's seeing your dick and balls because leg holes of sports are huge. You can sit certain ways, especially with... Yeah, but like... But he already clarified this. Like underwear... And it's not those kind of shorts, is it? She has to be hot for him, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. British husband. He won't wear shorts now. We move to hot weather unless I beg. Underwear outline could be a thing. Maybe. Maybe. It's just her that's mentioned it. Yeah, he even asked other people about it. And like no one has said anything or... I don't know. Maybe he has hideous knees. Okay, let's do a little poll. Is OP the butt? We're gonna do yes and no. And no one is but. Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, it sounds like no one, I don't know. You forgot the kid, but we already have 3 options, okay? It's gonna get too complicated with Timmy in there. Timmy's the butt? Yeah, Tim is always the butt. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel it's weird when it's only one person being like this... I don't know, this forward about it. Does that make sense? The horror. Natural male body. Yes, that's what I say when I walk around butt-ass naked. Oh my god! Why are you walking into the store with no clothes? This is just a natural male form. You may not like it, but this is what peak masculinity looks like. No poll? There is definitely a poll. Unless OP was lying, he ain't the butt. Yeah, I mean, unless he's lying about something, I don't know, man. But I also feel like the comments around it is kind of weird. Like part of this is kind of like, I don't know, you can't wear a shirt with a cleavage. Like, Oh my god, man. Steve told Jessica she can't wear that shirt with a cleavage because it makes him uncomfortable because he keeps staring at it. And, he's not trying to stare, but his eyes goes there. So you have to cover up, girl. You can't wear that summer shirt with a bit of a cleavage. They would just tell the dude to, like, control himself, and not be such a weirdo. That's the thing about this story. I mean, maybe he's lying about the shorts, I don't fucking know, but like the response around it is weird. These responses would never fly if the roles were reversed. Wolfie, thank you so much for being a noble ass, you beautiful bean. I don't get why she would look there. Yeah, me neither. It's like staring at someone's balls, like, hey there, Steve, I can see a little outline in those shorts. Are you sure you want to wear them to my house again? Bruh. Parachute pants for all? Hell yes. Just gonna wear a kilt the next family gathering. Yes indeed. Sexualizing everything nowadays. You can't just swing your balls around the street anymore. People will sexualize it when you're just like dinging your little bells around. Ding, ding, ding. Beautiful. To be fair, I typically do a full body scan when I see someone. I mean, that's valid. I mean, looking is fine. Staring is rude. There is one thing being like, one quickie. Just like, yeah, you look nice today. Versus, you look nice today. Different. Is Clicky about to leave? No, what gave you that impression? But yeah, it is getting a bit late. And I should not be making noise that late because it is a weekday. Thank you all so very much for joining me on this episode of Viva Democracy or whatever. The only place in the world that seems to have real democracy nowadays. The click streams. Thank you all so much for vibing, and I will see you again in the very near future. We also have some new fun videos coming out soon, and hopefully now when I no longer have a cold, we'll do some more streams this week as well, and hopefully Simba can guest this coming weekend. Thank you all very much, and I will see you again very soon.